Hi, everyone. Welcome to another night of Andromeda Adventures uh, for Endara the Second Age campaign. We are joined here by pretty much everyone. Welcome back, James. Glad that you're feeling better.
I am, thank you very much.
Unfortunately, our player Kovac, well, not unfortunately, they are having a vacation to Barcelona. Uh, so go stalk them in Barcelona. Get your celebrity stalking on. Uh, Hope you're having a great trip, Kovac, and that when you get to check out the stream, hope it was wonderful. Other than that, I think, and a good happy holidays, I think we're just going to get right into it. So we will cue that intro video and see you guys in a moment. All right. As we pick up, returning to our adventures, Westora, will you please catch our viewers up on what happened last week?
I will certainly try. So we were hired by a caravan traveling person named Hargle, and in exchange for the travel, we were to speak to or take care of a sick individual who turned out to be none other than Jill, Hadrian's absolute favorite person in the world. Um, so favorite, in fact, that when we went in to speak with him, he tried to kill Jill. Um, Westora had to calm him down again and prevent the death, which she did, and he left the room. We spoke with Jill and kind of came to an agreement. We were to go with him to Emery's, and while there, he would give us a nice house. We would help him track down, possibly deal with Godric in exchange for answering some questions. Um, besides having to prevent Hadrian from like killing Jill and having a few more sort of altercations, a few more conversations with him, not much happened with that. We had a couple of days travel before we arrived in Emery's, um, and when we arrived in Emery's, Jill left. Hadrian reminded uh, Westora at one point that Godric was going to be at the Queen's birthday, and the Queen's birthday was the time that Jill had said he would introduce us to the Queen. Um, and we have, I think, maybe a couple of weeks until then. Um, and yeah, we might need to decide what we're going to do with that information. Um, uh, while we were there, we sort of had this nice house, sort of set ourselves up, and Garth decided to do a little bit of shopping, headed out, um, and made his way through the streets. Came across um, some people who he thought were quite nice, but they were uh, trying to get him to pay protection money, which I'm sure a large half-orc barbarian with a bear really needs. Um, Made it into a shop run by a sort of skin shifter named Misty, and spoke with her a bit. Managed to get some potions and headed back. And yeah, that I think is the bulk of that of what happened. There were some details that Westora was not privy to, but yeah, yeah.
All right. Now, as you guys have settled in to your Chateau Breton, offered to you by Gilles, you have an easy night. Finally getting a good, solid, comfortable bed sleep. Ignoring the cobwebs, as very few of you actually spent time cleaning up the old house. You wake up after your long rest to a fresh, not sore back, and to the bright sun of Emery's, the summer air, You may have slept with your windows open or not. The old house creaks and groans a little bit. As you all come down the stairs, you have a little bit of time amongst yourselves to decide what avenues of interest to pursue in this grand kingdom of magical opulence. You can hear the chorus of the bustling city outside. The pitter patter and caw of different familiars making their way across the city like chirping birds on a summer's day. Occasionally, faint sounds of distant music echo along the streets. For many of you, this is an unusual sensation. Not many of you have spent time in cities so large. For Magnar, part of you misses the clang and din of the forges echoing around the caves and halls. But it's a welcome difference. For Westora, the chorus of people is much different to the sort of soothing nature sounds of Jaru. You are used to more courtly stuff and the somewhat quiet of halls and work of the larger buildings and castles. So while the environment is very comfortable for you, it's a much different experience being in this large of a city. Garth, they're out of your element. Without the wilderness sounds, the chaos outside wakes you up a little bit earlier than the rest. As Barry tosses and turns, having shredded up most of the mattress that he's laid on to make himself a little nest.
You're paying for that.
While Hadrian, there's very little that disturbs your sleep.
Oops.
This time, you're haunted by nightmares. It's still restful, and you don't quite remember. You're not sure you want to.
I want to. I'm going to try and remember when I wake up. The second I get up, I'm going to be like, what was that?
But they fade shortly after you wake up beyond memory.
Fuck.
You guys make your way down and find to the main hall and eventually find a small lounge to the bottom left. You sit, your stomachs growl, eager for breakfast, low on traveling supplies. The city is at your disposal. So what do you do?
Well, Restora is probably going to first see if she can find a large metal basin to use as a bath, heat up as much water as she can,
How
and
is she
clean
heating
herself.
the water?
I'm assuming that there is a kitchen
There is.
that has a stove.
It's in the back.
Is there fuel?
From what you can see, to the left-hand side of the kitchen is a large pantry with old, rusted, dirty iron and steel and copper cooking utensils and grains, and most of it's long since rotted, but is there. And then in the main kitchen, there's a large chamber with a bunch of sort of butcher tables and prepping counters and cabinets, stores, and stoves for the large opulences. And in the top right, there's a large trapdoor that's kind of locked shut that leads down into the larder.
On the grounds or in the kitchen, perhaps, is there a water pump somewhere?
There is. There's a small water pump.
Okay.
Are you going to flood this entire house to take a bath? Like, it's a city. They have bathhouses here.
I prefer to have privacy.
Make
All
your
right.
way through
You're
the house. You
paying
don't
for the
actually
water
see
damage.
any established washroom.
Yes, I did notice that on the map.
Not yet.
Is there? Well, actually, the most important thing is if there's a container that can hold water.
There, I would say, yeah, there is a larger, probably used for like washing clothes by one of the servants, a very large,
Yeah.
sort of tin uh, basin. Wouldn't be the most comfortable way to take a bath, but it'd definitely be possible.
Okay. Regarding what Hadrian said, are bathhouses the more typical thing in the city?
Make a history check.
Let's see if I know anything. Not my strength, but who knows? Didn't seem to go through. I'll try again. There we go. I got 20.
All right. So what you know is, at least for your time in Versailles, in Jarroux, it was very common to have rivers, sort of public bathhouses, kind of places to bathe. People also had their own private baths that they would prep kind of in their own homes.
Right.
During your time in Versailles, especially in noble quarters, like it was very common in Jarroux, in the more noble, courtly areas, for each of the nobles to kind of have, like their each of the castles in large areas, estates, to have a bathing room that was kind of set aside for that. These sort of large, opulent, almost pool-like baths for the different nobles that you had access to. But in Amaris, in Versailles, there were public bathhouses. Some of them gendered, some of them not. And that seems to be somewhat the norm. This estate doesn't seem opulent enough to, or of high enough standing, whoever lived here, to be able to afford the larger, grander bathhouses. But kind of looking around, you do see what appears to be a wash house out back in a small courtyard, sort of uh, a bit of a outhouse, as it were. Just not that sort of a large chamber, probably to clean and bathe. Slash refresh yourself.
Right.
But and you can see that there is a well just outside of it. Using the wrong term, but it's not really like. It's probably just kind of a wash room where they would do laundry or wash themselves or anything like that.
Right.
But they most likely, the people who lived here, used public bathhouses and chamber pots.
Right. Well, Basora will kind of sit there for a bit and sort of mumble a bit to herself. It doesn't seem ideal.
Like this place is probably high middle class.
Right. Yeah. So she'll step back out and sit and look at Hadrian and say, "So, where are these bathhouses?"
You think I have a map of the fucking city and where all the bathhouses are? They're out there.
You mentioned it. I thought
I
maybe
know
you'd seen
someone
one.
who could help us find one.
Oh, okay, God. Who is this person?
It's not one person, like a bunch of them.
I wouldn't have thought you'd know many people in a city like this.
I went out yesterday.
Oh, Garth.
Oh yes, you went shopping.
Yeah. They're gnomes. And they
Gnomes?
can help us find things, yeah. They know the city quite well, it seems.
All right. Well,
And
that
plus-
works for
Well,
me.
that's
They're
very
here-
friendly of them.
They're gonna help protect us as well in the city.
So, can they
But
protect
protect
us on
us.
the way to a bathhouse and the museum? Because I do want to go to that museum. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very interested in that.
All right. Do you mind if we take a bath first and have breakfast before we go?
Oh, I can
Breakfast
cook
would
something
be
up.
good.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry.
I thought I'd cook as well, or try cooking, but
Yeah.
I don't think we have any fresh food.
I
I'm
suspect
sure I've
anything
got
that's in
something.
there is going to be a bit on the mouldy side.
I took a look. It looked quite bad.
I've cooked things with worse, probably.
Yeah, I don't want to eat what's in there.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And Garth, this isn't a place where you go out hunting to find stuff. Just,
I mean, I could.
Yeah, I
Probably.
think you'd be looking at rats and alley cats at that point.
Or you mentioned gnomes before.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Or
Eat
what?
the gnomes?
No, I think he's saying they'll go and do some shopping for us.
Oh,
Oh, right.
yeah. I hope you meant that.
Yeah. I'll make a deception check.
I'll make an insight.
What are you trying to deceive about?
That I wasn't telling him to eat the gnomes.
Okay. What'd you guys
Yo,
say?
24.
Fuck! You're. I mean, with that, you're not really sure whether he's joking or not, right? He could be serious.
All right.
So, okay, bath. Wait. So maybe
Food?
well, there's no food here. We could grab some food on our way. I mean, it's a big fucking city.
I think for today, it's probably best that we eat out for the sake of convenience, and then once we're done at the museum later on, when we come home, we can buy some
Right. So
some produce, and maybe some eggs, and a few other items. that we
Some
might
meat
need.
as well, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
But for now, let's go out. Let's go to a stall. I'm sure there's plenty of street food. Grab some breakfast. I would really like to take a bath before we do much of anything else, and then go to the museum.
Yeah, let's get some food, maybe some street food. I'm sure they have croissants and stuff like that, just based on the general vibe of this place. We can grab some pastries.
Oh, I
some
love
coffee.
croissants. Love croissants.
Yeah, I bet you do. And then we'll go to a bathhouse and we'll go to the museum after that. Sound good?
Sure. Yes, of course.
All right.
Of course. What do you mean you bet I do? Are you implying something?
Yes, I say, and then I just walk out the door.
All right. So you guys make your way out. You're sort of in a bit more of the higher middle class. Buildings are a little farther apart. They have larger yards. There's a lot of merchants in the area. As you make your way, kind of navigating the town, will one of you make an investigation check as you kind of look around for a place to shop, follow the smells, and
Who wants it?
Could that be
I'm not gonna
perception?
volunteer for
Because it's like,
I can roll it.
Go ahead.
could I
Yeah,
make a
man,
perception check? Just like,
Oh,
like
excuse me.
Your
20.
sense of smell.
Magnar, despite I didn't say you could
perception.
make the perception. You can certainly smell all the wonderful with a 22 perception. You can smell all the wonderful foods and pastries and baked goods and fruits kind of wafting through the air.
That way.
And but it's kind of coming a little bit from everywhere. The breeze is carrying it. Your stomach
Anywhere.
growls a little
man.
bit. Right? Your mouth's drilling like, oh, this town. That's the scent of flowers kind of wafting through the air, the cool breeze. But Magnar, you're used to navigating crazy, witch-winding maze of corridors and caverns. And despite being built underground, for the most part, with Cormund and all of its twisting multi-level sort of three-dimensionality, cities are cities. They tend to have a bit of common sense to them, so you're used to navigating that. So you kind of quickly guide them around and like, yeah, this is the most likely way. Until you guys are finding sort of merchant stalls, you can see bars and cafes and taverns are open. There's merchants on the side of the road selling breads and pastries and croissants and fruits. You know, you've got someone on the side being like, fresh dates, and pistachios.
I buy some fresh dates and pistachios. How much?
People selling nuts. For a small bag of them, they've got a few different ones. There's just some basic dates and pistachios that you can get that they're selling. for a small bag for a silver coin. But they do have some seasoned and spiced nuts and fruits and.
You know what? I'm at this point. I'm just looking for sustenance before we fucking get on with our day. So I'll buy the normal bag for a silver piece.
There's people with bread baskets kind of walking around selling bread. There's people dressed in extravagant clothing moving down the streets. Everyone's sort of talking. There's these large cafes, and there's sort of these sweet scents coming from. People seem to be on the outside drinking some various early morning liquids, having conversations. Owls and giant crows and birds and fly overhead, swans, almost spectral, as various different forms of spider and frog and otter and cat and dog kind of scurry around the streets, dressed in nice clothes as well, as all these familiars are kind of making their way through town, relaying messages. The streets, even this early in the morning, are fairly packed with people making their way, coming and going from different shops and stalls and stores. Depends on if you guys would like to find a tavern to kind of sit down in. You can smell the fresh sort of coming from several of the taverns, bacons and eggs and brewed drinks and coffees.
I'm happy just to grab a croissant.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like we're grabbing some street food and then we're going to the. But I will smile at somebody who seems charmable and just ask them. So, by the way, a friend of mine, hoity-toity, looking for an excellent bathhouse in the city. Can you point us anywhere?
Oh, if you're looking for one of a bathhouse, one of the finest is the Northern Spring. It's just a little bit around the corner outside of the Qua. You can take the main street up and around, follow to the left about 3 blocks down, twisting. It's a small, large sort of structure. You can see some of the natural stonework of the old hills built that Amaris was built around, still around it. They have a natural flowing spring as well as magical, enchanted, and refreshing waters, soaps, perfumes. It is an experience. If you're new to the city, I recommend it.
Lovely. I'm sure that's exactly what we're looking for.
It is.
And I got to go say.
Yep. Yeah, just gonna have to wait up a bit. I'm fascinated by this bread.
What bread?
Well, these like points to like one of the bread sellers who has like incredible artisanal loaves of bread with all kinds of fancy twists and twirls and everything else. And
Little
like,
knots and
It's
looks like
and it's
braided
like, wow!
ropes of bread, little frosting
It's-
covering a couple of them.
it's
Yeah,
just
Some
bread.
just seasoned
No,
just right.
yes, it's just bread, but it's art. Somebody's made art out of bread. I mean, like I grew up with artisans making like,
Magna.
jewelry and swords, and then we just had these giant baps of bread, lumps of the stuff.
But Magna, wouldn't you say this is overworked and underproved?
Well, I haven't tasted any of it yet, but it looks magnificent.
I'm assuming in the courts, Wastora, there must have been people making the style of Emeresian bread and stuff like that. So I'm sure I must know some of these.
A few. I mean, it's Jaru has a bit more of a meaty diet,
Right.
And rices and fish and a bit more seasoned, heavy stuff. Large round loaves are kind of what you. So you have experienced Emeresian bread, so you are familiar with some of these, but. They've always been imported, or someone came and made that. Like someone special was kind of brought in.
Like
to
there
make
was a party and someone invited a
Yeah.
baker from Emery's to come over.
exactly.
Yeah. So I'll buy a bread I know.
There, actually, because you got a pretty good history check earlier. There is an Ameresian delicacy that was once shared with the Jaruians, harvested from a bean that they import called coffee.
I didn't like it.
I mean,
I'm saying that because David doesn't like coffee, so I'm going to
Well,
say
Of
Wastora
course you
doesn't.
fucking didn't.
where I come from, bread's usually pretty hard to get, actually. So
It's far too bitter. Far too bitter. And to make it not bitter, you have to add all the sugar. And They put in cream. No.
You see Hadrian unceremoniously like scoffing a bag of pistachios and dates. He's walking towards the bathhouse, like, yeah, you guys enjoy your fancy breads.
I'd like to find like a croissant type bread that
Okay.
has like a sugar dusting on it.
Definitely. You'd be able
Well,
to find that.
Magna has a slightly large and impractical, but very artisanal, and
Just one of those very large, sort of woven, braided ropes of bread.
Yeah.
Is there anyone selling like meat on the street here?
You do see a couple of vendors selling jerky and just sort of ration meats and little small bits and strips of different kinds of meat hung up. There's also a few street butchers that have just sort of wrapped up bits of meat that they're kind of hanging and prepping. A couple people kind of freshly skewering and butchering a few bits and prepping some meats. You do see these sort of strange, looks like clumps of meat woven into long tubes, sort of hanging like a rope of meat. It looks really interesting, and there's sharp seasons and spices kind of smells coming off of them. It's very unusual.
I will go over to the people butchering the meat and try to tell them how to do it right, because they're not doing it right. They're wasting meat, I can tell.
Actually, with the butchers, are there any? Does Hadrian see any goats being butchered? Because he will make note of that on his.
Not that you could see. I mean, this is more. It's not that they have the full animal out. It's like they've got chunks of some meats that are kind of trimming off cuts for a few people earlier in the day.
Gotcha.
For the people to take to go make their own breakfasts or foods.
Right.
I will pick up a couple of those weird tube meat things.
You just fry them up, cook them over a medium heat. You're delicious. Mix it with some of the breads.
What are they called?
Sausage.
Bit weird. You just
How do you spell that?
that's not going to help, mate. You just fry them.
Yeah,
No, I've
put
seen
them
these.
in a
I
larger
know what-
skillet or a pan. Going up, you can chop them as well if you like, but it's best to keep them nice and firm.
All right, yeah. How much for 3, 4, maybe? I have a
3
bear.
or 4 ropes?
12.
Or just one? Oh, so one rope.
Yeah.
One rope up top. That'll be 8 silver.
All right, yeah. I'll give him a gold.
Oh, thank you, monsieur. Thank you. You are so kind.
Of course, yeah.
He has you. Try some of this with it. Hands you just like a little bit of seasoning and peppers. It may be a bit spicy, but
Nothing I can handle.
from Javu.
How much are those peppers?
Consider it a thank you for the gracious tip.
All right, yeah.
Just a small spice pouch.
Thank you.
And it's just a tiny little like
Mm-hmm.
leather baggie. But eventually, you guys do find.
I didn't pay for my bread, by the way.
Actually, with Stora, the way that you're dressed, and you guys walking around in this particular quarter, your little sugared croissant would have been basically free. It was just handed to you.
Must be nice.
How much for my ridiculously fancy loaf?
25 gold.
He has to make up for giving away free bread to rich, fancy-looking people somehow.
Right.
2 silver.
Got it.
Yeah, we'll go to the Northern Springs. I think you said it was cold, right? Like,
Yeah, the Northern Springs.
something pretentious. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't know North or Spring in French, but that's what it would be called.
I will Google translate it. I think.
Apologies to all our French viewers, by the way.
Imagine if we did look up in French, we'd probably butcher it.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Sorry, well, you're going to a bathhouse?
But what you would see as you guys
Didn't we go to one?
there
Didn't we
are-
go to one last week?
No, did we? Oh, we did. We did go about that.
Wastora
Or a couple weeks
was
ago.
oddly mentally absent when we did that, though. So
Oh,
he hasn't yet had the experience.
And to be fair, it's also been another week's travel
It's been like
Right.
three
Several days
or
travel
two,
from the
I
other
think.
town.
Right.
Right.
With
a dirty
What's
inquisitor.
your point exactly?
I need another bath.
Oh,
Look,
fine.
I also want to wash the Gilles de Rais off of me. I can
Ah,
very
yes.
are 5 chambers that they have. They're sort of sectioned off like little artificial hot spring kind of setups, honeycombed around in this large building with sort of stone walls blocking them off. There's you guys can't see in, but it is 10 gold to rent one of the sections.
They let a bear in.
Yeah, they don't care.
Sick.
Garth, you are going to have to figure out how to dry him the fuck off because we're not walking around with a wet bear.
It'll dry.
So obviously, like usually, it'll be like a group or a house or a family comes and kind of rents out one of them or a particular full party. They're not individual baths. They're these large sections. But the gentleman says, "So, the 10 gold for one of the sections. I assume you are all."
How much with this? And I'll show the ring.
Oh, Monsieur Will, I must say it would still be the same 10 gold. I do appreciate the Witherblooms. The Wither. No, because he only removed the curse, not the illusion. So he would say, Monsieur Prismari, I appreciate your business, but we here at Northern Springs do have rather enchanted and special waters, but unique from any that you might be. And some of our perfumes and scents and soaps are imported from all across the land. That's quite the experience that I'm sure even a man of your stature will enjoy. As he kind of looks you up like, you're really a Prismari.
Yeah.
Restore will hand over 10 gold. Says this will be a room for me.
Okay.
The rest can share and you can talk to them about their fees. And then heads
I'll
off.
just wait outside.
All right.
I mean,
Fuck it. I mean, why not?
I would like
let's
a bath.
let's get Barry a bath. Fine. I will pay 10 gold for the rest of us to get a fucking muttering to himself the entire time.
ooh.
Ostara would be on the opposite side.
All right, Barry, let's get you bathed. Come on. I will get naked and get in.
I will switch to the. All right. Barry just starts kind of floating around, splish splashing. You can see kind of looking around, looking for fish. Starts digging and trying to scrape up the bottom of the pool for stone.
It's all right.
He
It's
just
all right.
sits back and just lays back and floats up, little belly float. It just kind of drifts through the
Restore
water.
in her bath by herself is just soaking.
And you can feel the sort of smell the minerals to the water as they kind of bubble a little bit. They're perfectly comfortably, like there's a lot of heat to them. There's a small waterfall to rinse on one side of it. There is sort of these sauna stones and benches over to one side, and you can see these rinse platforms. If any of you are familiar with like a Japanese bathhouse where you have a place to wash yourself over to the side with all
You're
of
supposed
the
to
perfumes.
wash yourself before you go into
Yeah.
the soft spring.
They, however, did not. They just stripped down and jumped into the actual spring.
Restore certainly did.
DM, how high is the separating wall?
About 9 feet.
Because Hadrian's gonna pick something up and just chuck it over, just like grab a bar of
as you're
soap
kind
or
of
something.
soaking in the warm waters, there's a splash.
I ignore it and say nothing.
I do it again, larger this time.
All right, with the allowed splash on Restore size, Restore
Make it to hit roll
yell.
at disadvantage.
Yes.
be a strength check.
19.
That is a hit.
So you take
The bar of soap.
1
You
point
said
of
something
damage.
larger.
Yeah.
You take what?
You'll take 1d4 points of damage as a large rock from the spring smacks you in the head.
Oh,
3
no.
points of damage.
All right, let me make that change. You hear a ow, followed by a series of very unladylike cursing, and a voice that says, "Shut up and leave me alone. It's me time."
You'll hear muttering on the other side in a different in primordial, but it will translate to, well, nobody was saying anything, so you can't really tell us to shut up.
Magnar,
Hadrian-
you guys watch as Hadrian antagonizes Westora from the other side of the fence like a child.
Hey, she wasted 10 gold on a private path. She gets what's coming.
It was definitely not wasted.
Fair enough.
So, we're going to a museum after this.
That's right. Yeah,
What is a
quite looking
museum?
forward to that. It's where they keep lots of. Well, they can be different, but it's a sort of a collection of interesting artifacts and items, either from far away or from far back in time.
Why are we going there?
Well, I think all of us have got an interest in the past. No, not you. Well, maybe you should, develop a bit of an interest in it. But you can learn about faraway places without having to go there.
It's hard to really learn about things when more things are written down.
Well, that's the nice thing about museums is that there's actual things that you can look at. I'll read some of it out for you.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, this is rather pleasant, the water being warm and bubbly.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm not usually one for taking baths. More of a luxury than usually I can afford.
Well,
Plus,
I
it gets rid
suppose
of your scent when you're out in the wild.
Well, I think this is going to add quite a different scent. Judging
Yes.
by some of the smelly stuff that's been added to this water.
I think Hadrian will get out rather quickly, actually. He sort of just like washes and gets out and sort of
Alright.
covered in scars and things like that. Dries
Magna.
himself off, walks outside.
Magna, you missed it.
What?
But when we were with Jill, me,
Yeah.
Westor, and Hadrian had no regard for our lives. Just want to let you know.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time. Did he have one of his sort of blankouts and go all a bit mad?
Yeah, but Jill had this spell that would kill all of us if he attacked Jill, and he barely didn't.
But he didn't, which, it's different for him.
Only because Westora said something. If she wouldn't have, we would have all been dead. I just want to let you know because you weren't there.
Well,
But-
that whole kind of picking and thawing and should we kill him, shouldn't we kill him, and do we want him, do we not want him, I just left it to you guys. So, yeah, maybe I should have stepped in. But it sounds like it all worked out, so that's good to know. Anyway, thanks for the nudge.
Of course, yeah.
Magnar studies the vents for a bit. He's thinking about the geology and how far away this water would have come from and how warm it is, and if that means anything about what the city's built on. And he just starts thinking about
Make an investigation check as you look around. So as best as you can tell, The waters are kind of irrigated off from one of the main sort of waterways of the city, and then brought in. There's probably some kind of filter or thing along that path near here that cleans it or freshens it up because the water seems very pure and light. And as best as you can tell, it seems to be kind of listening in. You can hear a little bit of sort of pressure, like water moving under pressure, rushing sound that probably mixes it with rocks and things in the area to give it the mineral infusions and stuff. But
Yeah.
you're also
Not natural.
noticing there's a lot of enchantments and magic in the place, and you spot little hidden runes kind of disguised under different rocks to create a lot of the environment. It's really unusual because you're used to a city where magic is very practical.
Mhm.
And this is a lot of magic used for
Pretty frivolous thing.
yeah, just to heat the water and
This is out of
essentially mix
character, of course, but some people might disagree with how frivolous this is.
it.
Pointing that out.
It's
Two
pretty
Magna.
frivolous.
That's right. If somebody was talking to Astora, she might huff a bit at the
The
idea
other
that
thing
this
that's
was
different is how
frivolous.
prevalent it is. There are not a lot of like magic serves a purpose in Dormsa, and there aren't necessarily a lot of casters. There's the priests and a few rune knights and the occasional wizard or enchanter. But just how much magic seems to permeate the city, the environment, to be in something as simple as like heating the stones, right, and kind of lighting or heating the water. And when you were walking around, the magical lanterns and magical familiars, just moving through town, transporting mail and goods. Like, magic seems to pervade every aspect of this land. More so than even Versailles, where there was kind of this mix and blend. The other interesting thing that you note, kind of looking at this, is that this place is nice and it was recommended, but from what you've seen of the town, this might not even be the nicest bathhouse. This is,
Like the stonework's not quite as good as some of the buildings I've been past.
yeah.
Okay.
And you haven't seen vagrants or people on the street as you were walking past the buildings or here.
But there was
You're
definitely,
used
yeah,
to
Versailles
seeing
had
a bit
lower
of
tier.
poverty.
Yeah.
Even in Versailles, there's a bit of homelessness and poverty, and you're not seeing that here. It's a little unusual.
Interesting. Blimey, it's all fake.
What's fake?
Well, I thought, because we have hot water comes out the rocks up back in the mountains, and I assumed hot springs, that's what it would be. But they've manufactured this. Like the rocks, they're sort of magically warmed, and they're sort of mixing in ground rocks to make it seem like mineral water. It's an incredibly elaborate hoax. It's very effective and it's very pleasant, but what an
We did-
extraordinary amount of work to go to.
We did pay 10 gold for this. I mean, if they went through all this work, they probably got to charge a little bit more.
Well, I can sort of appreciate why they're charging so much now. Yeah.
Yeah. But the rocks are fake.
Well, I mean, they're real rocks, but they wouldn't be warm, not naturally.
Never met a warm rock besides Edis.
Well, I should take you back to the mines sometime. You go deep enough. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's quite enough of that. I don't know
Yeah.
how.
So you guys finish up and kind of, with Stora, you have a wonderful bath, and
Well, I want to say that they get out, and Westora is Doesn't come out.
What's the
They wait a
taking your
bit.
time?
They wait a bit. Rosora still hasn't come out. They wait a little bit more. Rosora still hasn't come out.
Do you want me to go get her?
Magnar's already
do you
heading.
think she drowned?
Magnar's already heading straight towards where Stora's one.
Monsieur, I cannot let you into another person's room. I'm sorry. Please step away from that door.
No,
She
we're
might be dead.
Group booking. You remember we came in together.
Make a persuasion check. Or
Because
deception.
Magnar's
Deception.
great at these.
Sorry, it'd be a deception check.
Deception.
We did come in together. It doesn't matter. He has the same skill in both.
3!
No, I'm sorry, monsieur. You booked separately. The wood lady asked for her own private bath and paid
Well,
for
can you
it.
go and check on her? I think she's drowned.
She has another hour left.
Another hour?
You guys did book for a 2 hour.
I'm going back in the fucking bath.
I'm just gonna sit outside and sort of people watch. See who comes by.
Rosora uses the full time.
Of course she does.
I'm just sort of sitting there like flipping a coin.
Yeah, and at the end of it, she's going to make sure she takes time to get out, fully dry herself off. Her last half hour is probably. I'm guessing they have like a mirror there where the perfumes are all arranged. Maybe they have a little bit of makeup. Maybe they've got like all the things. She's going to be brushing her hair out, getting all the knots that have really been because she has long hair, so she's going to be, trying to get all the knots out and stuff like that. If Garth is still in the water, every so often she can hear her go, "Ooh, ow, ow," kind of thing like that. She's tugging on it.
Are you alright?
No, just combing my hair. And
For
then
what?
I've got it's fine, don't worry. And she keeps going at it, and she's going to sample every single one perfume. Pick which one she
This
thinks
one,
is the
no.
best.
This one.
No,
there's one that's kind of fragrant and flowery. There's another one
I
that's
don't like
spicy.
roses. I'll do that one.
There's
Ooh,
one that smells
lavender.
like
That's
sweet
nice.
kind of candy. Almost.
Yeah.
There's a lavender. There's a vanilla.
She's probably going to go for one that reminds her of winter the most.
Interestingly,
maybe
the one that you find most kind of smells of petrichor. That sort of fresh rain smell.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, that's what she'll go with. And she'll apply it liberally, not too liberally. She doesn't want to be garish, but she wants to make sure it lasts through the day.
Yeah.
And she's going to take her time and stuff like that. And then she's going to do her makeup, put her hair in a nice ponytail.
The
And
question
make
is,
sure
are
that
you going to do your makeup as you've seen the other Emeresians, how they've been doing their makeup?
No, I'll do it the way she's used to do it.
Okay.
I might use their makeup because that's what's available.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it in the style that she's comfortable with right now. If she was going to court, she probably would do that, but she's not. We're just wandering through the city enjoying herself, so she'll do what she's comfortable with.
All right. Hadrian and Magnar, as you guys are waiting outside, sitting there, Garth has gone back into what? We got another outfought.
I just look at Magnar. This seems completely unnecessary. I mean,
Well, maybe she thinks it'll be another couple of weeks before she can have another one.
yeah, but it doesn't. I just want to say there's only so clean you can get, right?
I did wonder that.
Never mind. It doesn't really matter. Whatever makes her happy, unless it's sacrificing children.
You go dark extremely quickly. You know that.
I was just
Yeah. I look at him and just say, yeah. Have you met me?
Well, yes, and normally there's some kind of trigger, but right now we're talking about we're still having a bath, and then we're talking about murdering babies.
Well, we're talking about sacrificing children, not necessarily
Oh,
babies.
well, that's
I want to
completely
draw the
different thing.
delineation there. because
Murdering
there's-
babies, sacrificing children.
As you guys are
Hey,
saying that,
hey,
the lady
as a
looks over at you like,
I'm going to look at it. Look, we're not talking about your kids. It's fine. And I look back. It's hypothetical. But yeah, no. Here's the thing. If you're
she looks at you
sacrificing,
wide-eyed, and
you know what? I will smile at her as charmingly as I can say, we're joking. It's a debate practice, really.
they are just walking away like, my word.
All right, fine. As long as they're not calling the gods, I don't really give a shit. I turn back to my. Yeah, listen. You know the term gallows humor, right? I mean, in the past few weeks, I found myself in places that I've never really been before mentally. And so the one way to cope with that is to just lean into it, lean into the darkness. So, yes.
Right, that makes no sense whatsoever. Like, there's darkness. Hello, I'll have more of it.
Yeah. Well, not I'll have more of it, but I'll mock it. I will take it and I will use it sarcastically to lift myself out of it.
Right. So I'll take a note.
Or put myself further in. I mean,
yeah.
As you guys are having this
friends
debate, Westora and Garth come walking out.
You just hear, no, it's totally different to eat babies or to sacrifice children. Those are very different things.
Right. Because I've always been told I'm not very good at humour, but you're saying that sacrificing children's quite funny.
Westora, do you want another bath?
It's hilarious.
I was thinking about that. It was not nearly enough time. Am I right?
Really? Yeah, it wasn't.
No, I think I needed at least another hour.
And they're clearly having a great conversation.
Magnon,
I'd hate
you want to go to the
intrude.
museum while they're
Oh,
doing
absolutely.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Do we know
All
the
right.
way?
Sora sits there. She honestly hesitates for a moment before she finally follows.
I guess. Fucking museum time.
Yeah, and she leans over to Garth, and nobody commented on my hair.
I think it looks nice.
Thank you. A little late, but thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. Next time.
As we are walking, I will say, Hadrian starts going, it smells like rain.
Me.
Oh.
Oh, have you changed season again? Like spring?
No, did you not? She takes away. Did none of you try the perfume?
What is perfume?
It's a scent. It's to make you smell good.
I feel like Hadrian would have just thrown on some smoky stuff and just, walked out.
Why would I want to smell good?
Why would you want to smell bad?
Because I don't smell bad.
Well, I thought the whole point was
And
wash off the smelly stuff.
Barry just smells like a blend of everything as he's just like messed around.
Barry just ate all the perfume.
A gentle hand.
Oh, there's alcohol. Hey.
Sora put a gentle hand on Garth's shoulder and says, "Of course you didn't smell bad, dearie. Of course you didn't." And then keep going.
So, with Magnar's help and kind of following a little bit, you guys do make your way through the city until the large buildings slam next to each other, the different tight walkways, eventually reaching these large sort of gardened areas with pillars lined archways. You can see large multi-tiered sort of structures, almost looking temple-esque. They don't resemble any building any of you are familiar with. And there's multiple of these huge, kind of almost castle-like buildings, manors almost, but so much larger, kind of scattered around in different quarters and sections and parks, until you eventually do see one that is about 3 stories tall, and it's got, it's a little bigger than that, but you can see Musée de Quoi on a large sign. Written up above it. There's people kind of occasionally people coming and going from it. There's a bit of a pillared entrance, sort of Greco temple-esque. Let's see, a large glass dome and roof, large trees next to it. Very nice grounds. From one of the large, almost 3-story windows that you can see in, there is a huge dragon skeleton visible through the windows. And there's these banners elaborately painted depicting some sort of clash between these two figures at war. One of them seems to be a caster with great dragon wings, kind of weaving fire and lightning, with a whole bunch of plants growing behind them and snow and cold kind of withering along this large banner. And the other one, this armored knight, wielding a horrifying black iron blade that's twisted and wrought with spikes and twisted in this glowing armor, a black pit for a face, kind of blue threads underneath the cloak, this shadow and miasma around it sort of clashing. Westora, you're the only one that speaks High Common.
That's correct.
So what you can see is that they are currently featuring an exhibit of the heroic siege of Aldwin's forces. And will all of you make a perception check?
Six.
Nat 1.
Only at the end.
22.
I got a 5, but nat 1.
Surprisingly, Garth, you notice on the depiction of the two fighting, the one with the sword is wearing a ring that looks like the rings that Godric was wearing. But it's got a green glowing, like a green stone set in it. It's not actually a ring like there's not a physical ring on it, but in the mural, the painting, the figure is painted as having a ring that matches Godric's.
That's interesting.
You said this was the Battle of Alduin?
Alduin,
This was the siege of Aldwin's forces.
Sorry, just say, what was interesting?
And according to the sign and sort of banners that are up and the very artistic sort of lettering and this grand design, it basically says that they have Aldwin's sarcophagus on display.
I would like to go see that.
I haven't
You
told
don't
about
read
it.
it. Yeah, you can't read.
Oh, all right, sorry. Sorry, I thought you would just write me a different sign. That was my bad.
Remind me again who Alduin is.
Make a history check.
I do not know who Alduin is.
You've heard the name.
3.
It's a fairly. Usually, it's kind of. You've heard the name in reference to a horrible point in time,
Right.
and having something to do with a war, but you can't remember any of the details.
I'll look over at Magnar, who seems to be the most scholarly in the bunch. And I'll say, who is Alduin? Again, I know the name, but I can't quite place it.
History 27.
All right, Magnar. What you recall is you know almost the whole history of Aldwin. So Aldwin was a knight of the land of Cutania about 300, 400 years ago-ish. And him and a group of explorers crossed the great steppes of Woe, which is an inland bridge that links Sonishval, which is the term for that section of the continent, to the southern continent below, and across the Tamarian Sea. There, it is said that these knights encountered one of the Death Lords, a necromancer from the mythic age that had survived in the ruins of the kingdom of Ul'dah, one of the mythical kingdoms. And they retreated and gathered an army through the Knights of Cutania and all of the lands of Lumaria and Sanishval, and took that army down along with one of the Fey princes, Gaofang, and marched as an army down to the ancient capital of Ul'dah, where they waged a war against the Death Lord and his forces, his undead hordes. And it was said that the forces of Cutania, these holy knights, were losing the battle, and that even Gaofang, the summer prince and student of Mogus, the god of war, was injured and nearly slain on the battlefield. So Aldwin snuck behind enemy lines and made his way to the Death Lord's chamber and slew him. All of the undead armies dropped, and he returned with the Death Lord's crown. As the forces returned, to Cutania. Aldwin was crowned king of Cutania. His victory in the battle, his heroism, a marker for everything that the lands of Cutania and their holy knights stood for / stand for. And thank him for saving his son, Galder, the Spring King of the Fae, forged Aldwin an incredible sword known as the Black Blade that was said to grow stronger within the presence of evil and to aid Aldwin and give him power as a champion against evil. Aldwin betrayed Galder and slew him with his own sword.
Whoa.
And then took the sword and the forces of Cutania and marched across the lands towards Amaris in an attempt to conquer all of the nations of the New World, to unite them under the Cutanian banner and share the Cutanian culture and prestige with all the lands of the world on his march east. Eventually, there was a lot of different battles and different people. There is a handout that you can read. Let me pull it up, and I'll give you some of it. There is Mythology and Legends. There's the timeline.
Modern lore and details world timeline.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's Dakon, not Galder. I had the wrong name. The Aldwin had his crusade, went across the land. However, when he reached... And Aldwin is also the only person to have ever conquered the city of Nexus and occupied it since its founding in Astria. But as he reached Amaris, Amaris had manipulated and sort of played politics with Jaru and Astria and the people of Cutania at the same time that were growing tired of the endless war, and even the Thumerians, and created an alliance and finally managed to push back. And it's said that a champion of Shar, the death god, actually returned to fight Aldwin, bringing Dakon back. And Aldwin was eventually slain, and those loyal to his cause established the country of Wallachia. And it's said that the Endless Night, the ever-growing, that since they retreated there and claimed that land as their own, that the gods have cursed Wallachia, and the nights grow ever longer each year, until they'll be subsumed by darkness as a punishment for siding with Aldwin. Others say it's the Fae who cursed Wallachia for the slaying of Dakon, the king of spring. But Aldwin was supposedly destroyed. But there have been rumors, and the people of Wallachia speak of a time when Aldwin will return and free them from the endless night. And there are whispers that that day has already come, and that Aldwin is on the move.
Wistora is standing there looking at Magnar expectantly.
Magnar gives a long and detailed history.
Wistora, at the end of that recounting, I was looking forward to you repeating the whole thing, James. I really was.
I would like to know. Sorry for the huge lord.
no, it's great.
I suspect our viewers may not have, however.
But Magnar, is there anything you are adding to it? Any supposition, views, sort of spin or questions or propositions that Magnar might be making on top of this information?
Like, why Aldwin turned? Like, yeah, seemed to turn on an ally very quickly, and so. And you mentioned the black sword,
Black Blade.
black blade.
Remind you of
Um,
anyone?
I'm gonna start.
Hey, fuck you.
Ha!
I heard that, Goth. I'm listening.
Yeah, it's wondering that perhaps the black blade was in some way corrupting.
Again, remind you of anyone?
I'm gonna cross my arms and huff. Like,
Well,
Make a history check again to see if you
Okay.
happen to have heard or studied anything that tells you a little bit about that.
wait, who? Magna? Okay,
Magna,
cool.
History. It's 11.
No,
I
it's
will
a
say-
question. At people, what you would know is that rumor has it, like the sort of scholarly debate that people have is whether or not Aldwin was always a violent person and had always sort of been war torn, anyways, or if something happened when he confronted the Death Lord alone, because no one knows what happened when Aldwin snuck into the city on his own.
Mm-hmm.
They just
So-
know that he returned with the Death Lord's crown. Supposedly he defeated the Death Lord, but that's sort of well, no one knows, like, maybe he got corrupted by something there, and this, and that's actually why Cutania outlawed travel to the southern continent.
Okay.
After these suggestive comments, I'm going to huff and go in, and I'm going to go to the Aldwin exhibit and look around and see.
well, I mean, Wistora
Well,
was
let's
gonna,
all head in.
Wait,
Yeah.
Wistora was going to nod and to what Magnar said, and say, well, apparently they have his coffin here. So I didn't know if you wanted to wait for her to say something like that. But
Yeah, you wouldn't know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they have anything to do with Aldwin here. It's all written in High Common.
Well, Magna was relaying it, though, so that's
Well,
what I mean.
the history of it, because all I did was ask who Aldwin was.
Yeah.
That's true. It would be a little weird if he was just relaying the history of Aldwin randomly in front of a museum. I feel like that's not a huge logical leap
not-
to make.
I think that's reasonably fair.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
what
will-
were you saying about a coffin?
They have
Oh,
his
yeah.
coffin, Aldwin's coffin.
Is he
on
in it?
display. I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says they have it here.
Let me go look.
Wait, Wistora.
Yes.
Oh, can I see where she got hit by the rock in the spring?
There's
I mean, I bet
it
she
only
tried her
did
best to
4
cover it
damage,
up.
so the bruise is probably covered by makeup.
I'm very perceptive.
It's a shame this isn't Cyberpunk Crossing. I could make a
A
personal
wardrobe
grooming
and
roll.
style
Yeah,
personal
wardrobe
grooming check.
style,
I will. Before I head in, I will cast Cure Wounds
Oh, okay.
on her.
Mind you, you'd also
Oh.
probably be half dead from a rock hitting you, so.
That's
Yeah.
true, especially if it hit me in the head.
Yes.
For 6.
But yeah, Wistora puts a when you go over to Wistora, I guess you're looking at her. You touch where you think the wound is, and it heals. Wistora gives you a very gentle smile and gives your hand a gentle, friendly squeeze before you go into the museum.
So as you guys are walking in, there are a few clerks at the counter. They do charge gold for entrance.
Fuck. Bleeding gold.
Um,
I believe I have some of the party funds because I had over 100 gold starting, so I can pay for everybody's entry.
Oh, I got it. I got mine.
Yeah, I've got it. I think we're
And then
all
as
pretty
you-
well off that right now, actually.
Okay, maybe
Interestingly
we all
enough,
have that much gold.
they don't mind Barry coming in. They just tell you, sorry, familiars
him.
aren't allowed on the exhibits, so you'll have to make sure they stay across the line.
Familiar.
Yes.
or companion, ever.
Is that
What is
not?
No, he's a bear.
Pets are.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. You're very helpful. And Wistora grabs grabs him and says, "Do you want Barry to come in this exhibit or not?"
Oh yeah.
Then just let them assume whatever the hell they want to assume.
All
They
right,
said
sure.
yes.
Sure.
Enough
Yeah.
done.
Uh, but you can see the museum sort of splits. There's a long hall up ahead and two wings to the left and right. Once you're allowed entrance. To the right is where the large skeleton was. Uh, the halls are rather nice. You can see different murals and paintings are up on them, uh, depicting different things. There's people casually making their way. It doesn't seem very crowded. Um, you see a couple of younger individuals, probably 18, 19, um, carrying around a couple books and looking at a couple of the displays. You can see different vases and weapons, sort of old ancient things. You do spot on one of the displays there are a few what looks like these large spoked wheels made of a brass or bronze, kind of golden material with ridges like teeth along the outer ring and different holes and mechanisms sort of attached to them. Very unusual. Um, Most of them have bits and pieces kind of missing from them. You do see on one, there's this chunk of a rock. Just looks like it's pulled from a random location. So at first you're like, why is there a rock there? But what's interesting is there's what looks like a perfectly round vein kind of running through the rock of what looks like a flowing molten iron that's not red hot. It's an ironish tinge, and it's got a little bit of that heat, kind of molten-y metal glow to it, but it seems to be flowing, sort of held in shape, like liquid in a tube, but there's no tube, nothing containing it. It's just sort of a chunk, sort of pipe running along the stone. And it doesn't ever flow past or beyond, it's just kind of flowing within and of itself. And it's only after looking closely at it that you notice the rock hovering just an inch above the shelf that it's placed on. There are different swords hung up around, pikes, lances, all decayed, some still pristine and looking razor sharp despite their ancient age. Large statues, some broken, some damaged, depicting different warriors and everything. And as you make your kind of ways twisting around, you do eventually find the coffin of Altman, sort of the sarcophagus. Looks a little damaged and chipped. Sort of has an effigy of Aldwin on it, his hands holding a sword in its grip. The sword, seemingly made out of stone and metal, pressed against his armor. And it's almost perfectly lifelike. Like at first, when you see it, it looks like a person laying on the sarcophagi. It isn't until like you can get around and kind of see it past the shadow and the light that you see that it's just a carving on top of as the lid of the sarcophagi. And there's golds and metals and inlays all across it, and strange runes kind of line the outside. And you can see a couple people like looking down and taking notes at it. There's the large dragon skeleton that takes up a whole chamber. And you can see a plaque sort of set up describing the great dragons from the Mythic Age and how so many of their kind were lost during the Gods' War. That Ao weeps for his fallen children.
Fuck him. I'm just again looking around, mainly the Alban exhibit, but everywhere, just sort of. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if, because I have huge gaps in my mind, so I'm looking to see, is there anything here? If I am a relic, like Jill says, do I belong in this museum?
There's an odd familiar feeling to a lot of it.
Hmm.
You feel a bit of anger looking at the floating stone, a little bit of sadness looking at the strange rings of metal with the teeth shapes on them. And as you look at the sarcophagi of Aldwin, a bit of guilt. It's
Why?
this sinking pit in your stomach.
Um, do I remember why I might feel that way?
When you guys make perception checks,
Me or everyone else?
everyone.
Shit.
I got an 8.
23.
26.
Sorry.
I will
lost
have
my-
taken Barry to the dragon skeleton. That's interesting.
You see him kind of drooling at the giant
6
thigh
on the
bone
perception.
of the dragon. So Hadrian and Garth, as you guys pass by the sarcophagus, you notice the sword is real, and the ring on his hand is real.
Is the ring green?
So it is. It's got a green stone in it. It's not glowing.
Right, but it's green stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's subtle. If you hadn't had seen Godric's wearing the rings in person and actually seen what they looked like, you would have thought this is just part of the sarcophagi.
What about the sword? You thought it was stone. What is
It does appear
real?
to be, but it looks sharp. And as you can look, like it's a stone sword, perfectly carved to be functional, made from a different kind of stone, set into a golden and metal alloyed hilt.
Do I recognize either of these things? Because I was feeling guilty when I made the perception check. Why? Hmm. Weird.
And then make an insight check.
Me?
Actually, I'm going to say Westora and Magnar.
Oh. Shit.
11.
21.
I never heard of that.
Westora, you see a long-haired, trench coat wearing, sort of gold-plated, looks with strange glasses kind of over his eyes. Short hair. It looks like a kid. Just kind of. It's when you're looking at him, you can tell he's casing the joint as he kind of walks out. Like, he seems to be sizing up and, like, looking at security and the windows and everything like that.
Is there a security person in the room?
You don't see any. You can see a couple, I guess. You make a perception check. See if you can spot any law mages.
17.
Yeah, you can see it. There's a couple of law mages kind of walking around, just sort of keeping an eye, and you can see a few soldiers kind of close at hand to make sure no one keeps it. But it doesn't seem like crime's very rampant here, so there's not like a huge security presence. It's fairly casual and small.
I will approach one of the law mages.
Is the
And,
problem, madame?
Perhaps. You see that young creature over there?
Looks over, and as you point to like where he's at, he's can see him kind of walking out. He's like, "We, the gnome.
Well-
He's been coming here quite a few days. Why do you?"
It seemed to me that he was, perhaps checking out the security of the place, how to maybe gain entry when no one's around. I noticed looking at things that seemed to be different in the way.
Unfortunately, it is not a crime to look around, but we will keep an eye on him. Thank you.
And Westeros will go back to the group.
And
Yep.
Magnar,
Yeah.
what kind of stone is in that ring? You
What
seem to know a
ring?
lot about rocks.
Oh, that.
That
Oh,
ring there, yeah,
the green one.
yeah.
Frosty, is there any runes on it? I seem to remember Godric's
Yeah.
had.
same kind of runes as Godric's.
What about on the sword? Same. Any runes there, or
There are runes.
If I remember rightly, I associated the runes with Isgard.
Yep. Well, some of the runes look
Some.
like Ishgardian, but
What about on
others
this
you
ring?
didn't recognize. They were primordial and mythical age runes.
Okay. This ring?
Yeah. What kind of rock is that?
So the rock seems to be some sort of emerald, but you've never seen one quite so green and with as much metallic kind of sheen to it. The other interesting thing about the ring that you note is now that you've got a bit closer of a look, the runes are the same as the other of Godric's, but what you mistook for Ishgardian, you now realize, Magnar, is simply mythical. And make a Arcana check. I didn't think you were going to think of that, and I don't have this prepped, so.
That's 26 and a nat 20.
Kind of thinking back, you get an idea and quickly kind of pull out a book and start writing down the runes. And realize that they are names in Primordial. Carved onto, but you'd only know each of the names if you had all of the rings. But what you find interesting is that sort of looking at this fifth ring and looking at the runes, they could be put in different order. And with that, you would recognize that they are 25 names. There's 25 sort of ways to combine the runes properly to spell out all the names of Tiamat and Ao's children. And specifically, if you look at them in the right, like if you were to hold them all together on your hand, they spell out Tiamat.
Well, that's great. Sorry, I don't know that obviously in character.
By the way, Frosty,
Mm-hmm.
after I finish speaking with the law mage, I think I would follow that small creature out of the room.
All right, make a stealth check.
$25.
All right. So as you follow him out of the room, he leaves the building. Do you continue following him?
I wanted to speak to him, so I actually might just call out to him.
All right. So like as he's walking out of the building, you
Yeah,
kind of-
I'll say, excuse me, do you have a moment?
for a good-looking dame like yourself, of course. I've got as much time as you need.
Flattering, I'm sure. But I wanted to let you know that I thought your behavior was quite suspicious in there, and I told the law mages to watch out for you.
You did what? Ah!
That is a word of warning. So whatever plan you're having, I recommend that you do not do it now. And perhaps find some other means of accomplishing whatever goals you wished.
Hey,
Now, if you excuse me, I turn around and walk back in.
I hate to
Did you
see
try
you
to say
go, but
something
love
to
to
me?
watch you walk away. And kind of walks off.
Hadrian is going to look around the Alden exhibit one more time. Then he's going to go back to that floating rock. Presuming I don't see anything else in the Alden exhibit, I will look around it. But
Magna will tell Garth. Yeah, it's emerald. It's very green though, slightly metallic. It's interesting, and you're right. It reminds me of the ones that Godric has.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it looks like Godric thinks that this one's green.
Yeah, similar writing. I have some notes on that. I'll look into it a bit more.
Godric's gonna be here for the Queen's birthday, right?
Oh, that's right. Yes. God, I forgot about that.
Do you think he might go after the ring?
Well, he does seem to have a few, and he might. Yes. Yes, I could see somebody wanting to complete the set.
Yeah, maybe we should tell somebody.
How many rings did he have?
3?
Four.
4.
1,
Yeah,
2, 4.
I think this
Maybe.
might be, maybe even more. No, I think this might be the 5th and final.
Maybe we should get it before he does.
Get it what you fucking mean.
I think. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Is Westora back by this point?
At this point, yeah.
Well, we're not taking it. It's not ours.
Well,
to take.
do you remember where most of Godric's power came from, or
The
appeared to?
rings, yeah.
The rings.
Like glow, bang.
Yeah.
He
And
can't have that one.
I wouldn't trust you with the ring either.
I don't want it.
You seem to want it.
No,
Well,
I
it's-
want to
it's-
keep it away
As you
from
walk
him.
up, they're talking
It's-
about a ring. Westora.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I'm walking up to them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Misunderstood. What's this about a ring?
There's a
The green
ring.
one here.
Yeah, it's a match for Godric's Thor. I think it's
Interesting.
I think they're a set of 5.
Adrian wants to take it.
I don't want it for myself, God.
No, I think
You
she
can have it
wants
for all I
to
care.
Godric not to have it because
Yeah.
whiz
Well,
back
we-
boom.
Maybe if we spoke to Jill about it, we could take it properly.
That's true. Good.
Funny. I'm laughing the whole time. I'm going to go look around the rest of the exhibit. Sort of like, that
Oh,
was
you-
a
you-
great fucking joke.
Okay. As you're walking
Um,
around, I mean, there's tons of different artifacts and bits.
Well,
of
that rock
bombs
was definitely interesting.
He was
Yeah.
he was
I am,
talking
I
about.
am
was that,
assuming, Frosty, that rock was a piece of Uruk, correct?
Make a history check.
The floating city.
and 18.
Yes. And you recognize the material somehow being referred to as flowstone.
I just stare at it for a while.
I'm thinking, Magna's thinking back to his time as the god in the dream, because there was something about him raising the city, I seem to recall.
By the way, Magnar, while we're here, a
yes.
detail perhaps while we were speaking with Jill that you were not aware of, him mentioned was he did refer to us as sort of like fated ones or something like that. Perhaps there might be some information here about what that means. That's one of the things I was
Keep an eye out, that's true. Frosty, you also mentioned what appeared to be giant sort of cogs or gears.
Mhm.
Does my inanimate mechanical fish have little tiny cogs and gears?
Yes. So similar technology, similar craftsmanship. You would recognize the similarity between the two, but these are much larger. And
right.
and
What?
Frosty, what does the label on the giant gear thing say?
It says arcane implements salvaged from Ptolemy's scars.
Is this in High Common or Common?
Everything in the museum is written in High Common.
Okay. I will tell Magnar what it says, since he seems interested in this gear.
But yeah, basically,
Can you imagine?
the placard says that they are most likely of Ishgardian origin, rivals, and that this is this is basically. You can sort of see the political flavoring in the text as it describes basically that these are like unnatural weapons used by out of control mages of Ishgard that were stopped by AO.
As Magna looks at the gears, I will look at them with him and look at him and look at them and kind of sort of in that same sort of like effusive, disoriented primordial, just and here the corpse of mine home. Sit, a trophy on display to the conqueror, who doth see nothing but the vim and vigor and the vileness of war. These were mine. All of ours.
Oh, do you remember what device, what mechanism, or even what creature these were inside?
Look at Magna. What?
You were just saying these were from you remembered that these where these were from, and perhaps what device or contraption they were in originally.
I was?
Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry, you were doing it in primordial fluty language thing again, so you probably don't remember.
I mean, I remember a bit. It looked fancy, for sure.
Well, I mean, if you look at this here, you look at this fish. Yeah, can you see? Can you see the little tiny versions of the same?
Can I recognize anything, Frosty? I mean, I beyond sort of a minor lapse in memory going one way or the other.
Make a history check.
All right. And sort of like narrows his eyes.
I mean, you could make a mechanical full-size dragon out of these.
Make it at advantage.
Oh my. 18.
That's basically exactly what these were giant flying angels, mechanical soldiers that were designed to fight the dragons.
I look at the gears.
These particular gears are from an arm joint. But to you, these were living people. Like this is like seeing someone's arm just strung up as a trophy.
This was these were our battle brothers.
So it was a creature.
Not a creature, a person. Hopes and dreams.
See, I wondered, were these intricate curiosities, or were they treated as pets and friends and allies?
Make a wisdom save.
Friends?
Hadrian.
I know it's me. It's always me. 23. I don't think
you are pissed off that he would refer to like a person as a pet.
I was pointing at the fish.
Pets?
But he's looking at the arms, and you're like, were these like pets and possessions? And,
yeah, no.
Like,
I got it. It's like they were not pets.
No, not that. This.
The fish?
Yes. I mean, why would you make a fish?
I wouldn't make a fish.
Right, but somebody did.
Certainly, but Magna.
Yes.
We in Ishgard understood that life doesn't need to come from biological sources. It can come from everything, from magic and ingenuity and mechanisms. Many of my battle brothers were souls in machines.
Were these souls put into the machines, or did they come from elsewhere? Or
you don't know.
I just shrug. I don't know. Where does your soul come from?
Well, we're born with it. That's my question. Was
And
this
as were
naturally
they.
occurring? Well, that's
No, they were created and the soul was there. And I look and I say, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Wasora is going to go look at some of the other exhibits. She's basically going to see if she can find any reference on any of them about faded ones or anything like that.
Make an investigation at disadvantage.
Sure. Not my best skill, so I'm almost certainly not going to get this. Yeah, I got a 6.
Unfortunately, you don't see anything on the faded. It doesn't seem to... Like, the museum seems to focus on Ameresian history in particular. And there's definitely at least being from another country, like, a skewed perspective. They kind of... The exhibit with Aldwin sort of paints Ameris as the people that united the world against Aldwin, and look at their noble history and the descendants from Ao and the peace that they brought to the land. And from a Jarulian perspective, like, Ameris was desperate and had to make compromises with how they interact with other nations in order to get help to fight Aldwin. It was sort of like, we're all damned if we don't do this, let's band together.
Frosty, I just had a thought. This is something that just came to me, but it's kind of related to what you're just describing. Do the different nations have things like embassies?
They do in different countries.
Okay.
What you would know, being from the court, is that and hearing, you don't know when it happened, but you know that there is people from Jaru are allowed to get license in Amaris and get scholarships to Strixhaven Academy. And this is supposedly true for all of the nations except for Thumeria. You're not entirely sure why. But that it's a very prestigious school. But rumor has it that that was not always the case. And you don't know when that changed. But considering how rigid the how rigid Emery seems to be about unlicensed magic use and controlling who's allowed to use magic, it seems very weird that they would have all of these other people from different countries attending their big magical academy. It's just an unusual thing. Very political. You don't necessarily have all the details, but there are embassies for the different nations. Your guess, even being a courtier, would be that if this is the Queen's birthday, chances are it's going to be a big political event with guests from different countries.
Would Zamira be a likely guest to something like this?
If Amaris recognizes the Fey Courts.
Because that's not just Jaru, that's Jaru,
Yeah.
That's something separate, yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. Keep going.
I think after just staring at the gears for a while, I'm gonna just do another once around. See if anything else sparks a murderous memory, as things do.
The dragon pisses you off, even though it's
of course
dead.
it fucking
It's kind
does.
of like a good for you. You deserve to be a pile of
I'm
bones
just
on
gonna
display.
fuck you, fuck you, senior.
But the other stuff you don't really. A lot of it is Ameresian history and culture, so it doesn't really ring anything. Um,
Yeah.
but the few bits and bobs of different stuff um, it's I mean, it's a museum. There's a lot of stuff, but none of it's really resonating. It's
Yeah, no,
mostly about
I know
history.
it's more like because clearly I have like, and this is off game. Clearly I have a lot of gaps, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
I was looking for if there was anything that sparked something, right?
Not
So
not not in particular. I mean, there was the guilt by Aldwin's sarcophagi. That was
yeah,
unusual.
I still don't know what that's about, and I'm gonna go back and look at the sarcophagus and see if I stare at it hard enough, do I remember anything? I was gonna look at it like really intensely.
Wistora will, after, because Adrian's been just staring intently at a bunch of stuff, will come up and maybe put a gentle hand on his shoulder and say, "Is there something on your mind?"
Hold
Make a
on,
wisdom save, Hadrian.
I'm trying to win a staring contest with the sarcophagus. Give me a second. 13, not great.
So as you feel the hand on your shoulder, you kind of look over, and as you turn, you see that you are in the Feywild, near a swamp. You can hear the ringing of the sword. And you say that will make the blade stronger. Its power always usable. Very well. If it is to unite this land, then I shall do it. Thank you, Lieutenant. As you see the figure from the sarcophagus walking off. And then you're just staring at Westor. You turn him around and he's looking at you, just kind of staring blankly, looking around.
Wait. To clarify, I was in the Feywild. I saw
Aldwin in his
Aldwin
glorious armor.
And he said,
calling me lieutenant and walking off with the sword saying thank you. That will make it always stronger.
Yeah.
I look at Wistora. Oh. Hi. You.
You seem to be distant for a moment.
Me? Distant? No, I'm fine. We're great, actually. I'm really
As
okay.
you hear the words, and with this, your blood, this blade will radiate its might, and I shall carry upon myself all the darkness of this world until all the lands are united under the Cutanian light.
Is that my blood or someone else's blood?
You just hear it as though it's someone talking in the distance, and then you hear sort of the sound of a blade running through flesh.
Did you hear that? I think someone just got stabbed.
Look. No, Adrian, no, nobody's been stabbed.
I look around. Wait, no, someone definitely just got stabbed.
Adrian.
And
then see people kind of looking over at the two of you, like, what's that?
Adrian, calm down. Take a deep breath.
I take a deep breath. Look around. Don't worry, we're practicing for a
one of the law mages
reenactment.
comes up. I'm sorry, but you're agitating somebody. I'm going to have to ask all of you to leave.
I nod and I'll walk out. Sort of trying to look around one more time as I do. Like, what
I will actually,
what's going on?
Before we leave, the attendant that came up to us, I'll say, I'm sorry for the disturbance. My friend just got excited over such an amazing display.
It's understandable.
Who is the researcher or person who has provided these items?
These were all donated by various staff at Strixhaven. Where is it? In particular, many of these relics are on loan from Marquis Gervais Kaplan Silverquill.
Say that again, Frosty. Our key.
Marquis Gervais Kaplan Silverquill. And where is... trying to find it. The sarcophagi is on loan from Olivia de la Markov.
Thank you. And are these associated with Strixhaven themselves?
Are
That's
you
what
not
you were
familiar
saying?
with the Markovs?
Please forgive me. I have come up from Jaru, and I am still new to the town, to the city.
Olivia de la Markov is the queen of Wallachia.
Oh, okay. I don't know if Wallachia. So she's not even Frosty. So that's not even.
That's a
Amnesia.
whole other country.
Whole other country. Ah, of course, yes. I see.
The coffin was brought here to be displayed until the next month by Baron Markov and his niece, Miss Lay Whistle.
I see. Thank you very much.
And he will also... Why can't I find...
I'm sorry, there's even more information.
I can't find their names. I had them all written down here and there.
All right.
Dispaid.
All right. Mostly I was just trying to get the names and where they might be if we wanted to ask them questions.
Various people have contributed to it, particularly of Lorehold and Silverquill.
Right.
A lot of... You get the impression that a lot of these are personal collections of
Correct. Right.
Ameresian nobility that they've held on to.
Who gave the ring?
And the sword.
He kind of looks at you like, what ring and sword?
That one right there.
Never mind. Garth, never mind. Ixnay.
What do you mean? Do you not see it?
No, we can't. It's fine.
All right, sure.
But what you would learn is that various houses within the Greats, particularly Quandrix and Lorehold, mostly do the sort of curating and managing of the various displays and the historical research.
We saw the sword in the ring on the sarcophagus, correct?
Yes, but if you had seen someone wearing the rings apart from it, it's so well built into the sarcophagus that you wouldn't realize it. It looks like it's part of it. You guys just recognize it as because you've seen someone with the actual rings.
Right. Makes sense. All right. I will then leave since we were asked to leave.
Yeah, I'm out.
Were there... No, it's fine. All good.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is you have to do an Ocean's 11 style heist.
For what?
Well, Godric can't get this ring.
Neither can we.
Why?
Well, we're not going to steal it. It's not ours to steal. It's not ours. We can't take it.
Why not?
Because it's not ours.
But it's not Godric's either.
Right.
Right,
But
we're not Godric.
Then we just stop him from taking it.
I would just point out that right now it is in a secure building guarded by a lot of sort of law mages and the like, and then you're suggesting that we steal it and keep
How
it
many
in
law mages were in there?
Well, there was at least 2 in that room. There'll be others.
How many law mages did Godric disintegrate?
We're not killing law mages.
No,
Not all of us want to murder everyone we see.
I wasn't suggesting killing them. I was saying if Godric wanted that ring, would that stop him?
I am not comfortable taking it from them. It's not appropriate.
Where are you guys making your way to? You guys spent a good portion of the day at the museum.
Yes.
We should probably get some stuff for food. I bought these sausages. I could make, but we should have some more food.
You can make sausage
Mhm.
with the sausage.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we should get some provisions. Also, I thought I might go buy some clothes.
Oh,
Oh, if you damage the ones you've got.
No, well, I mean, I've had nothing but the same clothing since I've left Jarui. It
Oh, no, I
doesn't
get that.
match my other seasons.
Yeah, no, good.
Yeah. I thought I was going to do that too, but I did none of you hear that person calling me lieutenant and saying thank you for the? I just have to
No.
ask, cause okay.
As I told you inside, no. And I was right next to you.
Wait, say that again.
I heard. So when I was looking at the coffin, I felt very guilty, and I was thinking about it, and then I heard someone calling me lieutenant and telling me, "Thank you. This act will make sure the blade is always at its most powerful." And then I heard a stabbing sound, and like and then someone falling down dead. I think dead. And it was definitely Aldwin who was talking, calling me lieutenant, and like big fucker in armor, and like had a blade, and very shiny.
That blade, specifically.
I don't. You mean it
Don't
was a
recall
black.
seeing it. You didn't see it, and not when the vision. You just. Remember.
Oh, I thought he had a black blade in the vision. I'm sorry. No. I sorry.
Where did this conversation take place?
In the Feywild.
he
Well,
lost it.
I'm
It did.
I am considering trying to get in touch with Zomira. Perhaps she might have some insight into this. If it was an event within the Feywild.
Oh, it
You
must
seem
have
to
been
keep popping up in history, Adrian, if I might say, because
Well, I don't think that should be too surprising by this stage. I mean, we
no,
know
I think we've gotten quite used to it. It's just
he's been around for an incredibly long time.
No, I
I
haven't.
doubt he was sitting on his
well, that
on his haunches doing nothing. He
If-
got
if-
to a point where he was performing rituals with Jill and Zamira and stuff like that in order to gain the powers of God. So,
Look.
you were just
We've all had weird orgies with Jill and Zamira and people like that. It's not this. We can't talk about that right now,
Well,
right? Like,
I'm sorry.
what?
That's not a part of the story I remember,
Oh,
Adrian.
really?
This we
Well,
all
it's
talk
part of the
is
story
not
I remember.
really we all.
And he's
No
like,
wonder you and Jill have an interesting
he's-
history. I
he's-
didn't realize
he's-
it went that
he's
far.
Smiling like
Yeah,
wildly.
Zamira, Wastora is too. She gets that you were probably being facetious. She's playing
Yeah,
along.
I'm sorry, everyone. I really wish I had answers.
I just want to hear more of these orgies. Apparently, you've been having for thousands of years. Is that
Oh,
what you do when you get bored?
I mean, if you've been alive for thousands of years, obviously it's really easy to get bored. You've got to get creative. So, like, you all think you're fated, but really, that's just sort of the story we've set up here. So, it'll happen eventually.
No.
Smiling again.
No, it won't.
I'm very well aware. I am joking. It is what we call sarcasm.
Right, I'm
And
sure
that is what we
it
call a
was.
defense mechanism, when what we call our memory is shattered by encounters with various artifacts from history that remind us of things that we think we may or may not have done, and we're trying to piece it together in sort of a weird jigsaw puzzle that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, I will say, Hadrian, something did just occur to me that might be more acceptable to my palate. I think we may not be the only ones interested in stealing those items. Well, I think you are not the only one interested in stealing those items. There was a small creature, perhaps a gnome or halfling, I really don't know, inside there, and I could tell he was definitely trying to case the place. I warned the law mages, of course, and I left and I told him to warn him because I did not want him to get in trouble by attempting. I mostly just wanted to avert the crime.
Smack myself in the face.
But
Of course you did.
he might still try, and if he did it, and we happened to be there to stop him, and we took it then. But certainly, to what Magnar was saying, even still, if it's safe where it is, it's taken by this person, then it would no longer be safe like
So, okay, I need to make sure I understand this correctly, because you're a person of contradictions, Restore a Fresh Note, but it's safe where it is, it's wrong to steal it. If someone else wants to steal it, and we steal it from the stealer, that's okay.
Well, I mean,
because once someone has tried to take it, it is no longer.
We would, of course, return it eventually.
Right. I win. Eventually.
No, I'm very serious about that.
Yeah, very serious.
No, I am serious about that.
Stop, you are serious about that.
What are Magnar and Garth doing as they're
repeating
arguing?
yourselves to each other?
Look, the point is.
Why do you just keep saying the same thing over and over again?
That could be.
We don't keep saying the same thing.
Yes.
Let him at it.
I really do hate you, Hadrian. I really do hate you right now.
Right. You hate me.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh. Lastly, what's a goddess or god that she would say in exasperation as a curse, like a god damn it kind of thing?
Shar take you.
Okay, Shar take you, Adrian. just Shar take you, all right? Like now, just take it out, and relieve me of this massive headache you're giving me.
Look, I don't mean to interrupt in this enthralling conversation we're having.
That was
it's getting
you
dark.
Don't mean to interrupt.
It's getting dark, and we should be getting home soon.
Well, after
we should probably
get
shopping. Right. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, you were going close.
Or we could stand here all day and keep going in circles.
But some firewood, and I think I saw there were quite a bit of sort of.
So, how much supplies are and how nice of clothes are you getting, Westora?
I would probably get something of equal quality of what I'm wearing now. So that'd be something appropriate for court. It may not be the nicest thing in court, but it certainly would be appropriate. So I'm expecting to spend gold coins on this.
You can get very nice Amarisian clothing. Sort of what most of the people that you see are wearing, especially in your district, for about 8 gold.
Okay.
However, there are many shops selling very extravagant, glorious dresses, gowns, suits, large cloaks, sort of this very sort of think French Renaissance, brocade, gold filigree, and all of these wonderful sort of clothes that you could get a full-on outfit for probably about 50 gold. And some of those places, as you're kind of talking and hearing, you even hear that there are places that can sell enchanted magical clothing that can even protect you from the harsh environments and weather.
Well, I don't have that kind of money right now. Because if the really nice stuff is 50, I'm sure that's going to be. I have 100 gold right now, so I'm not going to be able to afford.
Do you want more gold, Phil? fancier stuff.
I mean, how much gold are we talking about?
I mean, I have about 250, 300. I could lend you some.
No, I don't think that's
Well,
necessary.
Madame, there is another thing that you might be interested in.
Yes?
If you are looking to make an impression, especially coming up, I have what is called a mask charm. There's a small ribbon that you can wear, and it allows one to create an outfit from their imagination several times. It is
So
going to be very popular. I just got the shipment in. It's
Does this mean it could be any clothing that I imagine?
indeed.
And how much is this mask charm?
200 gold.
Hadrian, we have a deal. 100 gold, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You don't understand. This would save me so much time in the morning matching my outfit with my season.
Buy
Wait,
it,
wait.
please buy it, please buy it, please.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. But just to clarify, they said how many times does this work?
Okay, several.
How much is several?
Out of character, it can be used 1d4 plus 1 times.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that then.
Yeah, because that's a lot.
But
of
it gives
money.
you disguise self, basically 1d4.
Yeah,
plus
but
1
I
times.
don't. I'm not doing this for disguise or any mechanical purposes. This is more for flavor, and I just wanted clothing that I could. I thought.
Why don't we both buy very fancy outfits, and I will contribute 100 gold to that purpose. So you can buy a 50 gold outfit, and I will.
I think actually, I would prefer to buy.
It says, there is a tailor that can make very similar to what the mask charm does, but on a more permanent. His name is Elam. He runs a shop over on the northern side of town.
Oh. I would be keen on that. I don't know if we have the money, but perhaps we could do it in exchange for a favor.
Yeah, let's go meet this Elam person.
Yes,
But I will say, after we've done all this and we've gone back home and we've cooked things and we've done all the necessary domestic chores, we should definitely look back into this museum because, yeah.
So it'll cost you guys about 100 gold to furnish, to kind of replace all the food, wood, cooking utensils, everything for the house, all the seasoning, spices, fill the water with all of your water jugs and bags of rice. And
would this provide enough provisions and food basically to last us for the duration while we're staying there?
basically, yeah.
Okay.
How much?
Yeah.
About for all of you, about 100 per month.
All right, I'll put 25 towards that.
And that's
I
3
put
meals
25
a
towards it,
day.
too.
That's including kegs of beer and wine, fresh water, salts to
Well, we can
preserve your own stuff.
Assume
Cooking
Kovac
utensils.
is okay with that.
Yeah.
In each.
I'll put 20, yeah.
He better be.
I'm cool with doing. If we don't want to base that, I'm cool with doing 25. But if we want to split it with Kovacs, then let's do
Let's
20
put with
each.
Kovacs.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
You guys have fun on your clothes, whatever thing.
As you guys
I'm gonna go get food and whatnot, and actually want to live.
I think we'll. If I think Garth, we have a place to go to. Let's all just do. We'll all take care of the house together now. And then later, we have several weeks, actually, like 2 weeks, I think, until the birthday celebration. So.
Oh yeah, isn't it like a fancy, well, high-toned and to do? Like we will need good clothes for that anyway. So
and make a charisma saving throw, all of you, just because you're walking around the town, seeing what you're picking up.
Or
I got a 19.
I'll spend a hero point. 19.
Okay.
Charisma save.
Yep.
Actually, I'll use my inspiration as well, just in case. Yeah, the 19. So
8.
All right. So what you guys notice is a lot of shops seem to be preparing masquerade attire, masks, costumes, ballroom stuff, and sort of in your gossiping and kind of talking to people and schmoozing, especially you, Westora, communicating with everyone, kind of as you're shopping and everything. The Queen's birthday is going to be a masquerade, and there's going to be a huge festival in the city that same night. And so everyone is, hearing the rumors of this great masquerade with guests from across the country and this wonderful citywide celebration. Everyone's kind of gearing up and planning their costumes and looking at stuff to buy for it. And there's a lot of places selling these mask charms kind of around. It seems to be that there's going to be a whole sort of theme. Think Mardi Gras meets Masquerade from Phantom of the Opera.
Adrian would like to buy.
Dios de los Muertos. Yeah.
If I can find it, I would like to buy sort of a fancier version of the. Well, he already has a long black trench coat, but something fancier, and angel wings, because he's a troll and it's hot. Like big white angel wings and a halo.
Probably cost you about 30 gold.
That's fine. I'll do it.
Okay.
Once we're done setting up, it's probably going to be later in the day.
It's
by this
pretty
point.
late in the evening as you
Yeah.
guys finish cooking your food, gathering everything up, settling back
Cleaning
into
the
the
house.
As you're cleaning the house, you do hear a screech of something in the basement and then a thump.
Westora will go over and open up the hatch to the cellar.
Hold on.
As you
hold
go to
on.
open up the hatch, it kind of rattles.
I will follow
recognize the
Westora.
scream at all, but
And there's a lock over the latch.
did the scream sound like anything that I would know of?
Make
Spent a lot of
a
time in the
survival.
wild. Oh, alright, survival.
You said there's a lock, right?
Yeah.
I'll use my inspiration on that.
Okay.
Fuck, 14.
I'll pick it.
Well, give me a second. Garth sounded like a rat screeching, but a very big rat. And Hadrian, you
Okay.
kind of go over, pull out your thieves' tools, and pop the lock.
Hold on.
Hmm?
There's sounds like a rat, a very big rat. If it's screeching, that probably means something's getting to it that's bigger than
I
it.
believe Hadrian has already made his roll, though.
Right, but we're not
Well,
down there yet.
I can always relock it. I mean,
I just want to let you know, be careful. There's probably something pretty fucked down there if a rat that big is screaming.
okay, but on the
All
other
right,
hand,
and
I'm
as
gonna
you
be-
guys debate over that and what to do, we are going to go on break.
Oh,
We'll
no.
see you all shortly. With that, we're going to take the break. Thank you for sticking with us, everyone. Hope to see you in the latter half. All right, and we're back, everyone. Thanks for bearing with us with our break. And you guys were debating over and talking about what to do as you guys stood over the trapdoor to the cellar.
Well, I'm gonna stop debating and just look at Westora and look at the other side. If there's a thing down there that's like nasty and dangerous, if we're living here, perhaps we should, I don't know, take care of it.
Oh, yes.
I agree.
I'm not debating that. I'm just saying be careful. Don't rush into this one.
Right,
maybe.
right. Of course I won't. And I will kick over
Just
the trapdoor,
like the kobolds.
cast light on my sword, and walk down the stairs.
All right.
Don't rush in, and then of course I won't. Then immediately rushes in.
Don't we all have dark vision?
Yes.
Why are we casting light?
Oh, then I won't actually. Yeah, it's true. We do all have dark vision.
There is still a reason to cast dark vision. Dark vision makes it
No,
dim,
light.
which means you have disadvantage on all your rolls.
No, dim light you don't.
If it's dim, correct. But if it's dark down there, we are going into a cellar.
Right. But we can see 30 feet.
Frosty, before I go down,
Is light 20 or 30?
30. No, 20. 20. Relief. Let me check.
It's 20.
Yep. Before we actually go down, I am going to.
You said you went down.
All right, that's true. I'm just
You
going
cast
down.
light?
That's like, let's not rush into this. Mark.
So as you
Wait,
climb
do you
down
know
the
what makes
ladder
it-
and see some stairs, please don't move yourself until.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
I need everyone to roll initiative, and I'm going to put us on the battle map.
Select token.
19.
What?
11.
What?
Fuck those rats. How do they get higher initiative than we do?
Barry rolled a nat 1.
Magnar has 19, which is
How does-
unheard of.
Wait. Does Barry have a 20 dex?
Yeah,
Wow.
of course he does.
All right.
No, he doesn't. He's got a dex of 0.
So you slide down the ladder onto the landing down at the bottom, Hadrian, and you see two rats kind of turn and look at you. One of them tries to scurry up to you, and something seems to catch it as it rounds the corner. And you just hear it screech and scream as it slowly gets dragged around behind the corner. And I need a wisdom save.
Oh, that's great. Ooh, delicious. Mm-hmm. 1 second as I roll this. 21.
You kind of, a shiver runs up your spine as you hear a strange clicking sound. The screeching, desperate cries of the rat clawing as it gets pulled back. The other one, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is going to charge up towards you. Westora, as you're kind of looking down and seeing Hadrian kind of look and like give a shiver of his shoulder as you hear the screeching, clawing sound coming from the basement.
Is it as wide as it looks like on the map?
Yeah, it's about it's like a 15-foot area that he's kind of climbed down.
Right, but I'm currently up still in the kitchen, right? So I have to move down. All right, if I move to say there, would that count as being in the basement? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be like you're climbing down the.
Sure. All right, and then I'll move there and I'll just Eldritch Blast the giant rat.
All right, roll it to hit.
Squeak, squeak.
Stupid rats.
13.
That'll hit.
Okay. 8 force.
And it just rat guts and mess everywhere. Just
Ew.
did you kill the rat?
All right, that'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
So since I slid down, where am I on the map, Frosty?
You're where you are.
Okay. So
These guys are up top.
Okay, so how far is it to get down here? 60 feet?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat upon myself.
All right.
And because I can do this, so that will mean that this turn I can just go all the way down.
And will you make a dex save for me?
Sure. 8. I'm gonna use a hero point. 11.
So as you go to run down, something catches your foot and it sticks, and you trip and fall down the stairs.
Ow,
And
ow, ow, ow.
Take it.
Ow, ow, fuck, ow, fuck, ow, fuck, ow.
I'm going to take, that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, so 2d6. So 2 points of damage. You just kind of bang yourself up a little bit, and as you hit the ground, you're tangled in something and can't move.
Okay. Can I take my action to get out of it? Because that was my move and my bonus action.
You already used your action to cast Expeditious Retreat.
Nope, that's a bonus action.
Then you couldn't have used your action to... Then you couldn't have used your bonus action to dash.
No, so Expeditious Retreat is when you cast the spell, and as a bonus action on each of your following turns, you can dash.
So you didn't dash.
So you didn't dash.
No. So Expedition Retreat, basically, when you cast it, you automatically dash as part of casting it if you want to.
Oh,
and then
and then
bonus action on every
subsequent.
turn. Yeah, exactly. So it's a bonus action to cast it and dash, and then other turns you can dash as a bonus action.
And then as a bonus action. All right. Yep. So yes, you do have your action. You could make.
Also, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but you also owe a concentration check.
Yep.
That's true.
I was just going to get to that, but yes, it is when you have.
Yeah,
So
you're good.
barely stay up. As you barely maintain concentration, you can use your action to try and make an escape check.
I'll do that.
All right. Roll your athletics. So as you're tugging and pulling, you can't quite break out. Like these are really, just you can feel something tight as you kind of break one hand free and kind of wipe your hand a little bit. You can feel something sticking kind of in your light on your sword. See the webbing on you and these are really thick, heavy webs. You just kind of fell in them.
All right.
But you're having a little bit of a hard time breaking free. And you are prone.
Fair enough.
Magnar. You hear thump, pow, ow,
We said don't rush. Yeah. Oh fuck. I've got to get down the ladder. Yes.
Yep. Basically, by the time you
Magnar.
move to the stairs, you're 15 feet.
Use Searing Smite. It never goes wrong.
I've not bloody used it. Anyway. Yeah, pulls out the mace, and can't see what's down there. Sounds big. Maybe you'll actually hit something, and the light won't hurt. And holds the sword's loft casts the mace loft casts Searing Smite.
All right.
And that is a bonus action, so
Yeah.
I will do.
How
far can
much,
I go?
after going down the ladder, how much movement does Magnar still have left?
Yeah, that's the question.
That would be about 15 feet, so about 10 feet of movement.
10 feet. All right, then I will move down. And can't really see anything except Adrian. What the hell are you doing down there? Can I cast a spell as a bonus action?
Yep. So you still have your action.
Still have my action. Not a lot I can do. Can I cast again?
Oh, not a leveled spell.
Not level.
Yeah.
no.
You can
Not a
cast a
level spell.
cantrip.
A cantrip, but not. Okay. Guidance requires touching. Wait, next time. And that's it. I'm out.
All right. Hadrian, you begin to get pulled around the corner.
Wee.
And as you do, due to your light, make a perception check at advantage.
Nine.
You don't see anything. You can't even tell what's pulling you. You just feel something kind of as you slide across the ground, kind of wrap around the corner like,
What the fuck is going on? What is happening?
You guys just see Hadrian disappear around the corner. And make wisdom saves.
I'm not down there
Nope, Westora and Magnar.
yet.
23, net 20.
19.
All right. You guys are fine. It's a little unnerving. You know, like in a horror movie, you watch the person just get dragged out of screen.
I'm
It's
gonna say
like,
Hadrian totally milks it.
Maybe that's why we're not scared, because you milk it so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I-
messing
makes it
around
feel-
again.
It's
makes it feel
the pain. It's painful.
Just a bloody rat. What you doing?
Oh yeah, definitely with the 10. You're probably hamming it up too much.
Oh, it's
yeah,
too much. Yeah. I ham it up way too
Uh,
much. Oh my god, no.
Garth?
No.
I will look at Barry and I'll say, tell him to fucking rush in. What do we do? Why do I even fucking try?
Well, that's
Think they
what
can
I
handle
said.
it?
Huh?
Think they can handle it, Barry? Do you think we have to even go down there? I mean, should they learn a lesson, maybe?
Sits down on his
All right.
butt.
I'll sit upstairs. I'll crack open a keg of ale we bought.
All right. Giant rat is going to desperately try and cling and fight and use Hadrian as a stepping stool to try and get away. Hadrian, you'll take 3 piercing as the rat claws its way across you like a furious little cat, just kind of biting onto you, pulling itself out of the
Ow! What the fuck?
and goes running around the corner.
No opportunity attack.
Sure, at disadvantage.
It did
Yep.
just leave my range,
Yep.
so
That'll hit,
12.
and you just cut it in half as it gets past you. Stupid.
As I'm like in the web, I just stop fucking rat. Ugh. Well, at least I have a kebab now. This day.
You guys watch as a rat tries to scurry past the corner and then yelps and screeches, and then just blood pools out from around the corner.
It's all right, guys. I got it.
Well, save the next one for me!
Westora?
Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Where does the webbing kind of begin?
It's, you would have had to search before you were moving, so I need you to make a deck save.
Okay. $18.
So you kind of dodge it, and you can feel the stickiness of the webs, but you balance on the stairs, and you can see that there's very thin kind of little bits of webbing all around.
All right. Well, I still have movement left.
Yep.
So I'll dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I don't see anything yet. So that'll be the end of my turn.
Nope, you just see Hadrian getting dragged slowly across the ground.
Yeah, I only have a bonus action left and nothing really to use.
Hadrian?
So.
You're muted, Hadrian.
I'm still in this web, right?
Yeah, you're still kind of pinned on the ground, getting dragged along the ground by something.
And I cannot see what is dragging me.
Nope, you haven't spotted it.
I mean, I suppose I could just lie back and ready in action. I'm gonna try to break the web.
All right.
I will, before I do that, I will activate my Peerless Athlete channel. So I will have advantage on an athletics check.
All right. You are prone, so you are at disadvantage, so it's a straight roll. 24 is still good enough.
24, yeah. So do I break it?
You break free of the webbing.
And I will spend my movement to stand up and walk 15 feet. Yeah.
All right. As you do, kind of walking forward, looking around. A giant spike, like you're kind of walking and just feel fangs dig into you and mandibles. You're like, I kind of look up, and I need a wisdom save.
20.
As you look into the giant mandibles of an enormous 20-foot tall spider.
Well, can I
And
just say
manage to resist the fear.
that fucking spider has to make a dexterity saving throw. Because as it bites me, I'm using Hellish Rebuke. Well, that's a shitty roll.
that you can see. You would not be able to see it until after the attack.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Then, well, I'll save that spell then, because 3 damage is not fucking worth
You
it.
still... I'll allow it this time.
Okay, because it's a reaction, I wouldn't have been able to use it or even activate it. So anyway, I will take that damage. Do I need to make the save, the Constitution save?
Yes, you do.
Hero point. It'll just pass, I think.
Yes, it will. So that is 10 piercing damage.
Gotcha. Ow! Fuck! The piercing mandibles of the spider. It hurts.
Sorry, 4. You'd take 4 poison damage, but you are not poisoned and paralyzed.
Ow!
And I need a concentration check.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
21.
That'll pass. Magnar, you hear screaming, ow.
Ow! Fuck! Ow! Big spider!
I didn't. No, I saw Hadrian had tripped and fallen and was caught up with stuff at the bottom.
Yep.
And my movement is
25 feet.
25. If I dash, it would be 50.
Yep.
But I want to combine dashing, like moving and dashing, with being somewhat careful not to get snarled up in the webbing.
You can't do that, unfortunately.
Can't do that, so I've got to make a choice.
Yeah.
I can hear shouts and screams. All right, no, I'm just double dashing.
All right, will you make a dex save at disadvantage?
Yep. Disadvantage. 10.
All right, so you are going to fall down the stairs. Those are going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 2d6 for 12 points. As you trip on the wedge and just wham, wham, crack your neck and hit your back, and you swear you broke something as you fall to the ground prone, and you are caught in the webs. Are now restrained.
Where's
And I need a concentration check on your smite.
Yes. Do concentration and... Hang on. How do you do concentration?
Constitution save.
Constitution, sorry.
I imagine Garth heard that upstairs.
19.
Yep. You're good. You're good. Yeah, you hear the clang, clang. Ugh! How does Magnar cry out?
Ow! Fuck!
All right. So Magnar, you tried to dash. That as your action, and Spider's turn. All right. Is going to try and bite Hadrian. Straight roll. That is going to hit for 8 piercing, and I need a Constitution saving throw. All right, so 8 piercing and 5 poison damage.
I am very bloodied.
As it is pulling you up with its mandibles and just, and you can feel the poison, see the greenish sludge of ichor kind of spreading through the black veins through your body.
Oh, fuck.
Garth?
I'll take a seat next to Barry.
All right.
Sounds like they're having a fun time down there. Eh?
Oh.
Maybe they'll finally learn like children that when you rush into things, they don't tend to go very well.
Hadrian dies. I hope Garth feels horribly guilty.
No.
He's not the one in danger.
Barry nudges a keg towards you.
Yeah, drink up.
Westora?
Alright, I will move to here.
Did you get these? Yeah, oh, fuck. Never mind.
You see the giant spider pulling Hadrian up with its mandibles biting on him.
All right. I will first cast. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay.
So it hits the spider, but not Hadrian. I could pick a specific point, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's much need. We'll just say back here somewhere.
Nine.
Okay, good. So yep, it is now encased in a magical light, which means any
Glowing
rolls
different
against
colors,
it.
strobing.
That's right. It's all shimmery. We'll give it to give it that.
Hadrian,
that,
that poison must have had some kind of psychedelic effect because
That's
that
right.
spider's turning all
Whoa.
kinds
Yeah.
of colors.
But we'll give it a bit of a fey look in that it looks
Gonna hug it.
like it fluctuates between like
I love you, man.
greens of spring and the yellows, reds of autumn, and the whites and blues of winter. And so obviously it's not invisible, so that component of it doesn't matter. But the important thing is that now any attack roll against it has
Gets
advantage.
Yep.
And that's going to be my turn. I'm not going to
Alright.
move any closer to where I currently am, and I've already cast my spell. So
Hadrian.
I'm gonna use my necrotic shroud as the wing spreads from my back. Like, hey, man, you're great. And I'm going to attack the spider using Inspiring Smite as I burn that, and I'm going to attack it with Great Open Master. So 18.
All right, that will hit.
All right, so I will get 14 temporary hit points, and it will take. It's my channel for the day, and it will take. Ooh, that's not great. 28 damage.
You just run your sword through its head, and it drops to the ground, twitching.
Oh. I look down at it. Oh. Is that it?
I was kind of having the same reaction, to be honest.
Legs twitching. Is it?
Yeah,
I
but
guess I pull the wing back in.
No, that makes sense. I've done against giant spiders in games. They're glass cannons. They do a lot of damage, but they don't really have much in the way of hit points.
I'm
Magnar's
gonna
trying to burn the cobwebs off himself with
Yeah.
what's left of his searing smite.
Magna, I'm sorry that you're serious.
All right, as you try and light the cobwebs on fire, I need everyone to make a dex save.
Have fun.
God, you're such a bastard.
Magnar at disadvantage,
Am
by
I?
the way.
Well,
You
being
shouldn't
small.
be at advantage.
No, it's 7. I know.
7.
All right. So as the whole room goes up in flames, Westora, you chuck out of the way. The web quickly spreads, and then you see stuff like barrels of alcohol and old things explode.
Oh,
You guys
no.
are going to take 12 points of fire damage.
I'm dead.
As
I'm
You're zero.
unconscious.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I'm out.
fire bursts through the room.
I'm gonna run towards where I saw Magna. And heal it.
Hadrian, you also are taking 12 points of fire.
No, I know, but I had the 10 hit points, so I'm at 9 hit points exactly now. And I'm gonna run and lay on hands Magna, and we're gonna run out of this fucking basement.
All right.
Is it still on fire?
No, it just sort of
Okay.
bursts for.
Yeah, I think the web probably acted like flash paper. You know.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if it's not
and
still
which
burning-
caused some like old alcohol to explode
Okay,
for.
if
a
it's
moment.
not still burning, I will search the basement after I heal Magna, of course.
As you,
How much healing did you get on me?
15.
Much
as
appreciated.
you guys are no are prone or restrained, as you kind
Yeah.
of coughing.
Whoa!
I will look at Magnar, with like as kind of like a slightly annoyed look.
And Westora, you took half of that, by the way.
Okay, that's fine.
It's
And I'll just shake my head. It says, "Yeah, we could have just swept it up." And then
it was all
walks into
tangled round me. I couldn't move. I could hear all sorts of gnarling and gnashing, and I just was trying to.
So wait. So you were wrapped in it. So your solution was to burn yourself?
Well, I was just trying to get the thick of it off. It's a holy flame.
And where the hell is Gar?
Apparently, he's too good for us. I'm gonna search the basement and see if there's anything of interest.
I'm gonna assist.
Lots
Adrian.
of old supplies, alcohol. It's all destroyed, mangled crates. You can see there were like rats caught up in webs that have just dropped to the ground, scorched bodies. The whole thing smells awful. What you see is two human bodies, humanoid, long since
Whoa!
rotted.
Sorry, I just saw the spider.
Yeah, giant spiders are quite big. They're enormous.
Old crates, a sort of table with like it's mostly just an old storage larder.
The human bodies. Do they have like anything of interest or value, like identifying
You search them.
items?
Make
Yeah,
an investigation.
16, which is good for me.
One of them seems like they were probably a servant of the house, judging by the clothes that they're in. The other one is wearing a signet ring for the house.
I'll take the signet ring. Magna, you have identify. You said, right?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, just in case this ring, like the signet ring Garth got, was magical. Could you check to see if this one was?
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll do it as a ritual when we get upstairs.
There's no rush.
I'm gonna grab any alcohol that's intact.
There isn't.
Fuck.
I could make quite a good workshop down here.
Well, we're not using it for anything else right now. So I think that's fair.
Why don't we? We should get the big fucking spider though out of here, right? Like,
Yes, obviously, we
Right.
need to clean out down here before we can.
well, if you leave the body here, we'll attract more. I mean, that's
And
how it works.
Westora, this is where you see at the bottom end of the building is the bathtub.
Sora suddenly realizing he goes, "Oh, thank God!" And it goes rushing over, takes a look.
You can see that it's got a couple of runes on it, and there's a small bit of like a fountainhead up above it, so it looks like you could take a shower. And
Does
and
it have like a place for like a fire or something beneath it to heat it up? Or?
you don't see one. And there's old stagnant water in it,
Right.
and there's a little spot to open up to drain it
Yeah.
out.
I look over at Magnar and says, "You can of course have your workshop down here, but when I'm bathing, it's off limits."
Oh, right, yes you are. Oh, hang on a second. Do these runes look like the ones from the spa?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it might be self-heating.
You think so? Oh my gosh! If that is, I'll be so very happy. I can't wait, and I'm going to try draining it and then getting some water going. and see if
I'm
I can
gonna like
activate it.
narrow my eyes and stare at this and like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like,
I'm not going to take a bath now. I just
As
wanna
you
make sure
as
it
you
works.
pull the drain and all the ick that was in there floods out, I need everyone to make Constitution saves except for Garth.
Totally worth it, y'all. Totally worth it.
18.
21.
Magnar?
12.
Magnar, you vomit as the smell kind of like it was stagnant, so you couldn't smell anything. But as it moves, and it all
it's all,
splashes
like,
and wafts
splash.
into the air.
Mildew and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff.
Oh, just foul.
I'm gonna look at them and just like, yeah, sure. Like, let's ignore the fucking spider that almost killed me and then I killed him.
It's dead. We'll clean it up later.
You fucking deal with it. It's your bath, and I will go upstairs.
Okay. Magnar, we'll clean it up. Your workshop, my bath. Deal?
That sounds grand, yes.
All right.
I will
I'm
sit
gonna-
down next to Barry and just.
So Magna, show me how do I activate this?
Well, that I'm not sure of. Do I have any thoughts?
No, I mean you could make an you could ritually cast identify on it.
Yeah, give me some time with it. I'll work out how it works.
Okay, sounds great. All right, let's. How about this? You and me tomorrow. Basement's our project.
Sounds great. Yes.
All right.
Where do you think the rats got in? I think that might be first.
That's good. Well, there's this grate here in the middle of the floor. Could that be it?
There, as you kind of pick up and move the body, you can see the grate has been chewed through.
Yeah. That must be it. So we need to go into town as well. Try to get maybe a new metal grate to replace this.
Yeah.
Maybe when we're out picking up my clothes. Or my, hopefully, magical mask, unlimited mask thing. Well, let's go upstairs to the others now. I don't know if there's much else we can do down here.
Well, let's just drag something over this grate first. Like, turn this table over, pop it on it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, we should do that.
Oh,
I will say this
What,
entire
what
time,
did you hand me
Adrian's
to? What
sitting
did you
and
hand
just
me
drinking
to
with Barry.
identify Restorer?
I'm sorry?
did you
No,
hand-
he's not. Me and Barry in another room.
Hadrian came up to you guys and started drinking with them.
We went to the lounge.
Well, he didn't.
Then I fucking found
Adrian
you in
didn't
the
say
lounge.
Where? He just said wherever
I
Barry
guess,
was.
yeah,
So if you're
he
in
just
Rat
went
Lounge-
up to you guys and started drinking with
Barry is not a subtle individual. He's easy to find in a house with limited numbers of rooms. And I'll sit there with the fucking spider bites and just be like, so, fun fight, huh? Just like
What
chug
did we
from the scotch
learn?
bottle. That
Maybe-
you're not reliable?
I learned that maybe we shouldn't rush into things, like I said. Maybe. Maybe we should trust each other when we say things. Perhaps, like a group of people that trust each other.
And yet you don't extend that trust.
How
I
so?
trusted you to come and help.
Why would I? You rushed in when I said we shouldn't. Very dumb
but
move.
but if a member of a group makes a bad decision, you don't condemn them for it and not
Look.
help them.
You don't care for my life. Why should I extend it for yours?
Of course I care for your life.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't show it.
I mean, I've helped you in every situation we've ever been in a fight. I stopped Godric from attacking the caravan. Why wouldn't I care for your life?
You do you not remember the whole thing with Jill? At all? Because I do.
Yeah, do you not know what a bluff is?
A bluff.
Yeah.
Seemed like you were pretty intent on hitting him. When you know damn well that would have killed us. All of us. Not just you. Not just him. Restorer and I as well. You said yourself you would have attacked if Restorer didn't say something. I may seem pretty dumb, but I've got a good memory.
He kind
Don't
of looks
forget things.
down.
Not to mention the fact whenever I try to help you, you seem to want to punch me. Instead of talking things with me.
Well, let's talk then. You're right. I very badly wanted to kill Jill. I did.
Yeah, I know.
But I honestly, even without Wistor there, the first time when he didn't have the little bead of fire there, then I would have done it. But afterwards, when I pulled out the sword, I knew I wouldn't go through with it as much as I wanted to.
I want to believe you. I can't.
I mean, I didn't do it, did I?
You didn't.
Do
How
you
much
really
is
think
it?
some kind words from Astora? would stop me from stabbing someone.
It seems to work every other time.
It really doesn't, though. Think about it. Whenever she's brought me back, when I have that wing out and I'm in a different place, it's after the fight is over. With the kobolds, think about it. The fight was done.
After you charged in recklessly the first time. Which is why I suggested we didn't do it this time, but no one fucking listened to me. And look where I got us. You almost died. Apparently, that spider bite looks mighty fucking nasty.
I'm gonna look down at it and look back up at him and say, I don't know.
You all have the worst survival instincts of anyone I've ever fucking met.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I have survival instincts and I'm ignoring them.
Maybe don't.
Maybe
That's
I
how you
don't.
fucking die.
Maybe that's what I want.
I guess I can't help you because I will not follow you into death. I won't.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
You're a damn fool.
Kind of takes a breath and. I'm sorry, Garth. I don't. We've been together for longer than we've been with the others, and I still don't understand exactly what I am or who. But I will say, you've always been a good friend to me. And I have been
Say it.
well, shit in
Thank you.
repaying that. And I am sorry.
Look, you're so much different since we met everyone else here. You've completely fucking changed. Completely.
Yeah.
You were always a bit of a dick, but not like this.
I don't feel like I'm more of a dick, Goth. I feel like I'm more suicidal. Does that make sense? Like,
No.
I don't really. Listen,
Just don't be so fucking reckless, because you're not just gonna get yourself killed. You're gonna get these people killed as well that will follow you into these fucking situations. Look, as soon as you jump down there, they both went after you. It's not just your life here. It's all of ours now. Don't fuck this up for us, yeah? I've seen too many people I like die. Alright? I don't want to see more.
All right.
Get up and leave the room.
It's a deal.
Barry
I say,
goes with
taking a
you,
long
kind of
swig from scotch.
carrying a keg in his mouth, occasionally lifting up, letting the beer kind of wash over it.
I'm just gonna sort of sit there, staring at the bottle. And just trying again to plumb the depths of my consciousness for information about this person, Lorelio, or anything.
Fortunately, nothing seems to come to mind.
I just sit and look at the bottle and say, to old friends and partners, huh? And I take a huge drink and go to my room and just fall asleep.
Alright. Let's start Magnar and Garth. What are you doing for the rest of the night?
Magna will have done the 2 identifications as rituals.
All right. So it is a magic tub and shower. You can run your hand along a couple of the runes and have it pour water and have it self heat and adjust the temperature by touching a different combination of the runes for how much cold versus how much hot. And the other thing, the ring is just a signet ring from House Breton. You recall Gilles saying that the people who lived there left suddenly. You get the impression they might not have left.
Hmm.
Wistora will pocket the ring.
Okay.
With the intent of returning it to the rightful owners when she can.
I will say Restore and Magna would see Garth in the kitchen when they get back up, cooking meal very angrily, just cooking food,
Slamming the
real quick.
pots and pans
Yeah.
around.
And I'm making those sausages for me and Barry.
Okay.
Well, that smells rather good.
Oh, they smell delicious.
Yeah, they smell really good. Yeah, they do. They smell really good, actually. Sees he kind of just has his hand on the pot, just gripping it, so like the whites of his knuckles are showing.
Wistora will come over and sort of look over the pot, and sort of maybe look up at Garth and say, "Are you okay?"
I don't know. I say don't fucking rush into things, and I rush into things, and then I get yelled at for not being down there when I'm the only fucking person there thinking about this shit.
Well, while I understand why you're upset that perhaps you're not feeling listened to, we could have died. Magnar went down.
And what do we learn? Hopefully something. Maybe don't follow people into a situation we don't know what's going on.
Who do you think you are to lecture us about what we should and shouldn't do? Now, look, we may not have listened to you. Maybe we took a different course of action that you didn't like, but then you're going to condemn us to death because we didn't do what you wanted?
Well, I'm not
Like a
gonna
spoiled child who doesn't
not
get
gonna
their way?
not going to condemn you to death. It just
Well,
wouldn't hurt to take
What if
any.
we'd all gone on? What if the giant spider down there had managed to take us all out because you weren't down there to help us? One or some of us died.
That's the way it is. Where I come from, you don't make mistakes. You learn early on that something like that gets you killed, and you don't do it.
Well, I'm going to make mistakes, and I don't want to be with somebody who's going to just let me die callously because it wasn't. I made a mistake, or what they viewed as a mistake. We would have had to go down there and confront that thing anyway. Did you? You didn't offer any alternative solution, like, I don't know, burning out the basement or something like that. We didn't even know it was down there until we went down there.
I didn't have time to offer a solution. As soon as I said, watch out, the hatch was open and everyone was down there.
I will also point out that you did not say, don't go down there. You said, be careful. And I certainly tried to be when I went down there. You just told us not to rush. And while certainly Adrian rushed, I didn't. I took my time.
I'm sorry to yell. I'm sorry to be upset about this. It's just, I don't want to die.
Neither do us. But if we're going to get through all of this, we have to act as a team, even if some of us do something that other people think are stupid or a mistake or rash. I mean, you're not here to teach us a lesson.
I apologize.
And
lost my
to sit here and think that you have all the answers?
Oh, I know I don't. I just offer a perspective that no one else seems to have here.
That's fine. And you're right to be upset if you feel like you're not being listened to. But that's different from acting like a child when you don't get your way.
Right. I apologize. I'm lying.
Okay.
I
It's
lost
okay.
my temper.
I understand why you were upset. It's fine.
It's just that it seems it's one rash decision after another, and it adds up and adds up to the point where I just get frustrated.
I think just as some of us need to perhaps learn to be less rash, others need to learn to be more patient.
That's something I need to learn, yes. I don't have much patience.
That's okay. We all have things that we have to improve on.
We can come to a compromise, hopefully, between all of us to where we take everyone's feelings into account from here on out.
I'll
I
do
hope.
my best. I promise. Now, if you excuse me, there's a
Of course.
bath downstairs, and we lack soap and perfume. And I turn and walk out of the house.
All right. So you go buy some soaps and perfumes. How fancy?
As fancy as I can afford.
So
I
I
suspect
mean, they
they
could
have
range
that.
anywhere from 5 to 50 gold.
I spent 50 gold
Oh my
Okay.
god.
for the nicest soaps and shampoos. I even at that price,
So
I even
make
get
a
some
note.
like
You
some
have
skin creams.
you have basically Ameresian soaps and perfumes. 1 month supply. So we'll say 30 uses. And they will give you, if you use them for the day, advantage on social checks in Ameris.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right. Hadrian might actually make use of those.
Ah, not
Oh,
mine.
they're hers, yeah, they're hers. You
Yeah.
can try.
I will.
Yeah. There'll be some fight if you come up. There'll be some fight.
David's
Right?
normally against PvP, so the fact that he is like, oh no, you use these, we're gonna.
Them's fighting words.
I'm gonna say Hadrian lies down in his bed and uses a dose of dream dust and
no.
just tries to see what the universe brings him.
Okay. You.
And just so you know, I am going to try to keep with the seasonal themes with my scents. I like the fresh smell theme because that kind of works for multiple seasons, kind of thing.
The wintry perfumes in Amaris would be a bit more of
Pine,
peppermint and
rosemary,
spice.
peppermint.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe some cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go for that. It's basically. I basically get pumpkin
Pumpkin spice
latte.
perfume.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, such basic, so basic. Oh no.
Well, no,
Double
to be
dose
fair,
of
a lot of the
dust.
stuff you were describing is a lot of stuff that goes into pumpkin spice, like
Yeah.
cinnamon and stuff like that. Nutmeg.
So Hadrian, while you're tripping on dream dust, Magnar, what are you doing?
I'm gonna have a look around the house. Are there any books?
There are a few books on some of the shelves.
Are they in high common?
Yes.
Yes. It annoyed Magnar somewhat today that he couldn't read any of the signs at the museum. Just going to find some of the simplest books you can find and just start picking at
You
it.
speak Mythic, right?
Mythic, yeah.
So you actually make an intelligence save.
Okay. Hang on, let me just check. I just said I spoke Mythic. Yes. Common, Primordial, Dwarven.
Do you speak Elven?
No.
Sorry.
That's 10.
So a lot of High Common uses Mythic alphabet for in some of these books. There are bits and pieces, and it uses a much more Mythic pronunciation to certain words. You do recognize the other language as Elven, that seems to be derived from, as well as just the base Common language. Most of the lettering is in the common language, but it's kind of like comparing, say, the English alphabet with cursive, right?
Mhm.
Like some of the letters you can definitely recognize. Some of them look like just strange loops and symbols, but because you also speak Mythic, you can recognize some of like the weird accent marks that have kind of been carried over from it. And you definitely think it's a language that you could pick up. It'd take a little bit of work, but
Yeah.
you spend the rest of the night kind of studying before passing out
Yep,
doing it.
That's
And you'll get 6 of the 80 hours it'll take to learn the language.
got it.
Only in real life it went that fast.
So, hey, Adrian, as you are tripping on dream dust and kind of, you can see one of the paintings, kind of, the flesh of the woman on the painting kind of melts away into a skeleton, and the bones.
Don't like that. Don't like that. God.
But hello, it's nice to meet you. Been a while. Haven't talked much.
Uh, is this a skull talking to me or what?
It's the skeleton in the painting, yeah.
Alas, Yorick?
Ah, so you do remember me. Well, that's nice to know. I mean, you tossed me out a long time ago, left me in that ditch. Said you just
Oh.
couldn't talk to me anymore. Said I was, had to go our separate ways. I imagine I'm still in that ditch. Don't know really where I am now. Don't recognize the place. But it's better than a ditch.
It seemed to be in a painting.
Well, that's rather fancy.
Since when were you a skeleton of a woman?
Oh!
Why is that
The
woman
skeleton
in
kind of looks down and was like, well, I got enough rib cage, so that's fine. Good dress on. Never was much for drag, but hey.
Yeah, I
Kind of poses a little bit. This is how you fancy me.
No, it really isn't. I appreciate the effort, but no, I like people with the flesh and organs still on. Not
It's not usually how you leave them, is it? I mean, you're not one to leave a lot left of the bodies. People you encounter. Kind of brutal, don't you think? I mean, just look over there.
I look where
One of the other pages is just a field of bodies, men, women, children, just piles of bodies laid out across the long field. Swords, blood. As a painting, you start to hear the kind of screams and cries.
What are you talking about? I haven't done anything like that.
Don't you
What's wrong with
remember?
you?
Oh, no, I suppose you asked me to help you forget. Well, not me. Mother.
Who?
Said you felt guilty. Had to talk to Mother.
Whose mother?
Well, she's the mother.
You
She
mean
knows
my
everything.
mother?
She's the mother of dreams.
Allure. Hey, listen.
She helped you forget.
Mom,
Start over. You wanted a fresh start. Said you couldn't handle it anymore.
wait. My mother, Allura, is just a little bit
Oh,
crazy.
that ain't your name. You know what her real name is. You know what your mother's name is. Just say it out loud.
Pause and kind of look down. Amigurl.
And with that, the world seems to shatter. You just find yourself endless fog. As you guys see Hadrian just walking through the house, looking
Well,
around.
this is great. It's great.
So much more peaceful here.
Mm. It's nice, yeah. Yeah, it's very nice. Could rent out some condos over there. Maybe make a school. Wait. Why am I here?
You walk the dream. You want to know the secrets. What awaits, what is, and what will be. You wanted a chance. You wanted to be a hero.
Why? Why did I want that chance?
You're not ready for that.
Then it seems I didn't. I don't. You're telling me I wanted peace or to be a hero or whatnot, but you're not giving me answers as to why.
You know all the answers.
Well, apparently I fucking don't!
You guys are hearing him shout this as he's just walking around.
If I did, I wouldn't be asking.
Shall I lift the veil?
Yes.
Are you sure there's no turning back?
Yes. I want to know. Who am I?
Then I'll show
Who is
you.
she?
And then this long, six-fingered feminine hand. Each finger has 8 digits, seemingly made of white, pale flesh. The strange slime on it looks scaled, almost fish-like, but soft and ghostly. Reaches its hand out and just puts through the fog this long, multi-tiered arm as the sound of waves rush forward, and a finger pressed to your head as you recall your life in Ishgard, building the Tower of the Knights, fighting dragons, the war for godly power. You remember Godric as a hero, saving the lands, and then the war came. The scarring of the land, the horrible fights, the endless cries, the slaughtering of your family, your son, your daughter, your wife, the tower shattering. Recall the fields where everyone gathered and all of the lands united against and shattered the rock of Aruk and released Ptolemy. All of the heroes and knights of the different lands burning, the scars as the ground opened up. And you recall the rage as you spent the next 1,400 years, 1,200 years killing and killing and killing, hearing deep, dark whispers, a blackness in you. That was all you could hear. You recall twisting and turning events through history, trying to drive the darkness greater. Fighting alongside Aldwin. Slaughtering. Recall teaching him of the black, telling him that if it gets stronger in evil, were he to make himself evil, it would be The sword would be empowered forever if he could commit an evil act. His soul clearly was good enough to bear the weight of such an act, but might empower it, twisting things bit by bit through history, all the while trying to open the cage to the entity that called for you from the deep darkness, till you had finally found a way. But in Westora's beautiful face and her innocence and willingness to do good, you saw a reflection of Lorelio and her desire for peace, and your brain just couldn't reconcile the two. You couldn't be apart or around such an innocent person anymore if you were what you were, and your mind shattered and you reached out to what the whispers only dared speak of, a sibling, an ancient being, and gazed upon her beautiful form as your mind shattered. And you feel within you the purpose that you've so longed for, a world without gods, a world of justice, where all of that pain and all the dead and all the buried and all the burned might have their revenge. And beyond that, the millions of eyes, the great darkness, deeper and far beyond, but an infant that hears the pain and cries of the world and whispers the evils in their hearts. And I need a wisdom save at disadvantage.
Use my inspiration to make this normal.
You've already used your inspiration for this.
Sorry. Sorry then. Give me a second. 17.
Well, you rolled it. It's just that it was at disadvantage.
Or then I'll use a hero point.
So it's a 9.
So 12.
That is going to be a failure, and we need to roll for a permanent madness.
Oh, fucking fantastic. 77.
I'm just pulling up the list. You are convinced that powerful enemies are hunting you and their agents are everywhere you go, and you're sure they're watching you all the time.
Alright, we'll talk about that.
The forces of Aruk are everywhere.
Okay.
All of those innocents seeking vengeance, all your enemies, they're all everywhere. Everyone is out there. You don't necessarily think everyone is your enemy, but that you are constantly surrounded, that they are always watching you, all of the enemy forces,
Right.
as you recall ageless, this endless war. As you guys see Magnar and Garth, you see Hadrian just scream and collapse, and the little bits of glass shatter as the black wing erupts. You see red eyes opening and closing as the wing kind of splits into fog-like stuff. And your brain just struggles, Hadrian, to hold on as it all barely holding on. It's hard to retain the details.
I'm gonna use. I'm just making a wisdom save against like actually going completely mad there. So I'll use my last hero point with 22 to try and like piece my mind back together and try and like, as the shattering is happening, to try and struggle to keep something grounded. I think I focus on Lorelio and Stora and try and pull myself out of the madness as it's like creeping its way into my mind. And that hero point is spent. I know that, so I'm just saying what I'm doing.
Yep. You manage to kind of snap out of the dream and push your way back into reality, but that madness is still there.
Sure. I'm off game. I'm really not sure how to play that, so I'll talk to you about that. But yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
What do you guys do as you see Garth and Magnar?
Well, I thought he'd gone to bed, so I didn't see.
He had gotten up and it was like hallucinating, walking around the house. You were hearing his side of everything. And then in the main hall, he just screamed and collapsed.
Is Wistara still out shopping?
I think Wastora would be probably walking. It would take. He'd be hallucinating longer than you'd be gone.
Okay.
Ah, Westora.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Adrian's having another one of his turns. This one looks like quite a bad one.
I'll go over to Hadrian. Is he unconscious? Is he awake?
Adrian, you're kind of frozen coming out of the drug-induced hallucination, feeling...
Hey, Hadrian?
Right now, feeling safe.
Hadrian?
Mm.
Are you okay?
Mm.
Okay, let's get you to sleep. Okay?
1,200 years.
All right.
You serve
1,200 years of
himself.
life, not 1,200 years of murder.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Come on, let's get you up, and Restore will try to help him to his feet, or to help him sort of stumble up to his room.
As you get up, Hadrian, and Westara helps you to her feet. You see Godric walking on the street outside.
I run out after him.
As you get through the door, you see an empty street.
Restore rushes up behind Hadrian. Hadrian!
Godric!
Hadrian! There's
Godric!
nobody here! Hadrian, there's nobody here!
He's here. I'm gonna look at her directly in the eyes and just say, "Their wrath is everywhere. He's here. Make no mistake."
Well, there's nothing you can do about it now.
And with that, we'll call it. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope you had a great time. Thank you, everyone, for playing. Hope it was a fun session. And please check out our past episodes on YouTube. If you enjoyed us, give us a follow. And tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors, and tell your neighbor's family to watch us. All right. Happy holidays, everyone. And we'll see you next Thursday.